three. Deep to center field. This ball's crushed.
Sunday afternoon baseball from downtown Houston. There's Minute Maid Park on the left side of your screen, where today the Astros will conclude a 4-game series with the Minnesota Twins, also wrapping up the season series, currently tied at 3 games apiece. This is Hall of Fame weekend inside Minute Maid Park. And there you see Hall of Fame Alley, and we'll show you the Astros are leading the Oakland A's by 3 games in the AL West. The Astros coming into today's play with a record of 66 and 45 on the year. Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. And Blummer, so far this series didn't start the way the Astros wanted to, but they can finish off with a nice split.
Yeah, they definitely stumbled out of the gates here in this homestand, but they have a chance to go for that split with Lance McCullers on the mound. Luis Garcia did a great job and just a couple of timely hits. Hopefully some more offense today too.
That would be nice to see behind Lance McCullers. First, let's look back at Luis Garcia. What a great outing for him last night.
He was outstanding, and we tried to hint at it a little bit. This was a big start for the Houston Astros. Even though it was against the Minnesota Twins, they desperately needed a pitcher to go out there and shut down the Twins offense, keep them off the board, and that's exactly what Luis Garcia did. Scattered only 2 hits. He found himself in that rhythm out of the windup, did a great job locating the fastball. The cutter looked beautiful. He actually had 18 whiffs last night, and 5 of them on that cut fastball.
On this Hall of Fame weekend, the Astros looking for that go-to guy as they head to the postseason. In 2005, that go-to guy was Roger Clemens. What a year he had.
He really did, and that was the reason the Astros brought him in, is for that experience and obviously the ability to go out and dominate. In 211 and 1/3 innings, he came out and had a 1.87 ERA. Really established himself at the top part of that rotation and really drove the point home that they were going to finish strong. And if they were going to do that, they were going to do it on the back of that rotation, led by Roger Clemens.
Only pitcher ever with 200-plus innings and a sub-2 ERA in Astros history. And then a big game pitcher comes up big in large situations, and Lance did that in L.A.
He absolutely did. That was a hostile environment, but he wanted that baseball. He got the baseball, and he showed you why. 6 2/3 and 110 pitches, struck out 9 Dodgers, did not allow an earned run. Now it's just building off that and maintaining his status at the top of that rotation.
Lance gets the ball today, wrapping up this 4-game series against the Twins. And he'll be opposed by Kenta Maeda for Minnesota. When we come back, Julian Morales will tell us about a couple of sluggers as we compare Moises Alou to Yordan Alvarez when we come back.
Finale between the Twins and the Astros, that's coming up. Hall of Fame weekend also continues here at Minute Maid Park. The plaques are up. I've seen them, so if you come out, make sure you get your picture there. And now it's time to start thinking, who's next to be in the Hall of Fame? Does it have to be someone who's put in years and years into the franchise, or could it be someone who kind of just rolled into town, made a huge impact on the organization? So that is our Chevy Stroh poll. We're looking at guys maybe with shorter stints in an Astros uniform. Which one of these would you consider to be in the team's Hall of Fame? We're going to put you on the committee today. Moises Alou, Roger Clemens, Andy Pettitte, and Carlos Beltran. You see how many seasons they played right there. So let's talk a little bit about the guy at the top. Choice A right there, Moises Alou. At 31 years old, he arrived 1998. He also played 2000, 2001. Enjoy these highlights. All 3 excellent seasons, posting those numbers. As you see there, the .331 batting average. How about 95 home runs? 38 came in that first season, driving in 346 runs. Monster numbers in the middle of his career. He also played very well in this ballpark when it opened up. There is someone on the current roster who debuted 3 seasons ago. He's putting up some pretty similar numbers, especially when you're talking about Minute Maid Park. So we're going to talk a little bit about that guy. Yep, Yordan Alvarez. We just saw him go yard, help this team to a win. That's coming up. And he's much younger as well. Only 24 years old this year. Coming up, the Astros trying to split the series with the Twins here at home. Lance McCullers Jr. will get the ball as we wrap up Hall of Fame weekend in Houston.
Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by TXU Energy. Enter the TXU Energy Slice of Solar Sweepstakes for a chance to win a year of free electricity. And by Rooms to Go, where you get great furniture prices and delivery is fast and easy.
Here at Minute Maid Park, the Twins are taking on the Astros, 4th game of this 4-game series. Twins taking the first two before Luis Garcia stepped in and allowed the Astros to win that third game. And here it is on Lance McCullers to try and split this series. We talked about that last start against the Dodgers, stepping up in a big way, going 6 2/3 shutout baseball, looking to build upon that performance and build upon those great numbers he has this season.
He'll face the Minnesota Twins, and they line up this way with Max Kepler leading off, followed by Brent Rooker. Jorge Polanco will bat third. Mitch Garver in the cleanup spot. Luis Ariz, Miguel Sano, then Jake Cave, Trevor Larnach. A couple of lefties in a row, and then Andrelton Simmons rounds out your Twins lineup. Ready to go on a Sunday afternoon. Astros coming in with a 3-game cushion over the Oakland A's. The A's schedule gets appreciably more difficult here over the next few weeks. The Astros will have a day off tomorrow and then welcome in the Colorado Rockies to round out this homestand. Astros at 3-3 against the Twins on the season, so whoever wins this game will win the season series. Max Kepler leading off. Missed 17 games this year with a hamstring issue. He has fallen behind the count here, 0-2. Lance throwing a couple of strikes here to start this at bat. Kepler has struggled this year with 2-strike hitting, only a 113 hitter with 2 strikes.
That combined with the swing and miss ability of several pitches from Lance.
Line drive over the head of Jacob Wilson, playing his first game with the Astros on an 0-2 pitch. Kepler singles into left field.
Credit Max Kepler for getting a base hit on a pretty good pitch down out of the zone. Had to go get it out of the zone. Lance probably trying to get the swing and miss or waste one down below the zone to set up another pitch, but Kepler swings and gets it just over Jacob Wilson on our Masters Firm Supermo.
A lot of Astros fans might be wondering who Jacob Wilson is if you haven't paid attention over the weekend. Wilson, who was just picked up off waivers from the Oakland A's, was with Sugarland, didn't play a game for the Skeeters, and then called up to replace Robel Garcia as the backup infielder. He's going to get tested here on a chopper on 2 hops. His throw in time to get Brent Rooker. Wilson has had a line drive just beyond his reach, and now on a little chopper he has to come in for to make the play for out number 1. Here is the defense with Wilson on the left side alongside Carlos Correa. You've got Aledmus Diaz giving Jose Altuve the day off on the right side. Taylor Jones will be at first base. The outfield has Yordan Alvarez back in left, Chas McCormick in center, and Kyle Tucker in right. Martin Maldonado behind the plate for Lance McCullers Jr. Here's Jorge Polanco. Noticed after that play that Wilson made on Rooker, Carlos Correa went over to chat with him. I know anytime you start your first game for a team, it's important to have a shortstop to the left of you who's the captain, but Correa kind of takes it to the next level. He is a vocal captain out there.
Yep. Opinions, congratulations. He's got it all. That's what captains do. You got to be able to say the good and the bad, but I'm sure he's probably welcoming Jacob Wilson to that left side of the infield. Yikes. Good curveball.
Lance getting ahead 0-2.
That is a curveball that endeared Lance McCullers to all of the Astro fans here.
I feel like that curveball back in play a little more effectively the last few starts.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten a good feel for it. He's had some good left-handed hitters to go out there and use it against, so highly effective. And again, when he has that pitch rolling, he's not afraid to throw it in any count, and he's not afraid to throw it back to 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 back times 24.
He went into attack mode last game against the Dodgers, put them into pitchers' counts quite often, and went 6 2/3 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball. And he has started today in attack mode as well. 7 pitches, 7 strikes. He's 0-2 on Jorge Polanco. Called third strike on the inside corner. Polanco thought it was in. has a word for home plate umpire Vic Carapazza on his way back to the dugout. First strikeout for Lance.
StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud, is going to show you those 9 strikeouts that Lance McCullers got against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Did it in a variety of ways, mostly that slider to some tough right-handed hitters. Also a knuckle curve mixed in there with a couple of two-seam fastballs. Slider bursting onto the scene here in 2021, and a highly effective pitch for Lance McCullers.
According to the Baseball Savant run value measures, it's the most effective single pitch for anybody in the Astros pitching staff. A -11 run value for the season.
That's why I love you. You're the greatest support play-by-play guy one could ask for. And the advanced numbers through those 18 starts for Lance McCullers, matching up nicely with that ERA. Very good.
Yeah, the top 4 pitches for anybody on the Astros staff have kind of separated themselves, with Lance leading the way. 1-1 the count to Garver. The Luis Garcia cutter is up there. The Framber Valdez curveball is up there. And then I'll have to look it up. It's one of the 2 breaking balls for Brian Presley. I believe it's the slider.
Yeah, that slider's wicked.
But those are the top 4 individual pitches for the Astros pitchers in 2021, with Lance's slider leading the way. A pitch he just developed this year. There it is. 1-2. When you could develop a pitch and make it elite in one season,
it's remarkable. It's just a credit to the work ethic of Lance McCullers on our MD Anderson strike zone. You see that slider breaking across the zone and staying on that outside edge away from the swing of Mitch Garver. But I'm with you, TK. And, you know, Lance kind of mentioned the fact that he wanted to have another pitch to put into that mix, something that would be highly effective to right-handed hitters. I thought the curveball was pretty good, but that slider's been that much better.
Ground ball to short. 2 big hops for Correa. Lance pumps his fist into his glove as he likes what he saw in that first inning. He threw every pitch for a strike but one and gets through the first scoreless. Chas McCormick will be the leadoff hitter today, with Jose Altuve getting the day off. Michael Brantley and Aledmys Diaz round out the bottom of the first. Here's the Astros starting lineup on this Sunday afternoon. Chas McCormick leads off for just the 2nd time this year. Michael Brantley, Aledmys Diaz, Yordan Alvarez the next 3. Carlos Correa bats 5th. Kyle Tucker with great home numbers this year, including a 3-for-4 night last night. Taylor Jones plays first base and bats 7th. Jacob Wilson gets his first appearance in an Astros uniform. And Martin Maldonado behind the plate.
We're going to go up against right-hander Kenta Maeda. This will be his first regular season start inside this stadium. He has faced the Astros quite a bit throughout the playoffs. Last time he did face them was in that wild card situation last year. Went 5 shutout innings. This season a 4.65. Fighting through some injuries and 1 strikeout away from 100 this season.
Coming off a Cy Young runner-up season in 2020. It was a shortened year, but he had a great season for Minnesota last year. This year hasn't been quite as good as he faces Chas McCormick. And Chas swings to the first pitch. A little flare into right. Following quickly, it'll drop in front of Max Kepler. 1 pitch, and Chas McCormick shows the aggressiveness we usually see out of Jose Altuve with a single on the first pitch he sees.
Shaking his hands because he got that one off the end of the bat, and it sent good vibrations down into the hands. We'll shake that off because it turned into a hit. But a good start for the Houston Astros with Altuve getting the day off.
Chas has hit well all year against Minnesota now. 11 for 19 against the Twins with that base hit. Speaking of guys that hit Minnesota well, here's Michael Brantley. He's 11 for 24 against the Twins this year, batting .458. Michael coming in with a major league best batting average of .329. Next closest to him is a guy currently on the Astros injured list. Yuli Gurriel is at .324. Saw Yuli working out again today, which is always a good sign. Hopefully he'll be ready to go next weekend when he comes off the 10-day IL. There's a called strike. Hopefully when he comes off the 10-day IL, he'll be as hot as Michael Brantley was coming off his IL stint. Brantley now 46 games since coming off the IL June 8th, has been batting .350 over those 46 games.
Wow.
It's a long stretch to hit that high.
And Yuli can look at it in a couple of ways. Yeah, he's recovering from that neck injury, stiffening up on him, but at the same time, you know, this point in the season, get a couple of days off where you can kind of unplug physically and mentally. It's not a bad thing. Come back ready to fire it up and finish the season off strong.
I think it'll work out well. That ball goes off the glove of Mitch Garver and to the backstop. Looked like it was catchable. It was a little wide, and Garver had to reach out for it, but didn't come up with it cleanly.
On our Matches from Supermore, you're going to see maybe it was either a split or the slider just kind of fluttered off that outside corner, and Garver not aggressive going to it. Hits off the glove.
That'll be a pass ball charge to Garver, allowing McCormick to move into scoring position. Now Michael Brantley will try and pull one on the right side. He's got a pretty nice hole between Polanco and Simmons, who was keeping the runner close at second, and the pitch is down and in. It's 3-1. Astros on a Sunday don't often take BP, but Yuli did get a little work in defensively before the game. But I agree with you. At age 37, a 10-day breather. He had played the most games for any Astro going into this IL stint. So a 10-game breather is not the worst thing in the world.
Not at all. Staying sharp, taking ground balls behind Taylor Jones.
Even when he takes grounders, he has the pocket out. Did you notice that? On pregame warmups.
I wonder if the clubhouse manager just hangs his pants in his locker with that pocket hanging out so he doesn't have to continually do it.
Michael Brantley takes a walk. That's so Yuli. Here's Aledmys Diaz. Diaz hitting third for just the third time this year. He has been on a nice run as well since coming off the IL. Gets the outside corner for a strike. Diaz, since coming off the IL, 295, 13 for 44, 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in. Playing second base today. Only game number 7 for Aledmys, starting at second base. Reaches out, pops one up, shallow right, trouble, Sano can't quite make the play. Brantley's going to have to hustle to second. The throw goes wide to second, in to score McCormick. Simmons knocks Brantley down, and that could be interference. But right now, Brantley stays at second, and the Astros get a run on a ball that was just off the glove of Sano.
Right now, I'm just hoping Brantley's okay because Simmons got into him pretty good as this ball got heavy behind Sano, who got a glove on it but was unable to make the catch. Tough read for Michael Brantley, who was going back and forth in between second and first. That was where the closest play was, and that's why Polanco came up, surveyed, made the throw, but you could see that left elbow going into the face of Michael Brantley as Simmons came down on him. With that ball getting away from Simmons, it allowed McCormick to come around and score. So the Astros are on the board and now concerned about Michael Brantley. It's already beat up as it is.
Yeah, he's not been playing much left field in this homestand in this series. He's got that ankle issue, and that was a shot to the face. Obviously inadvertent by Simmons, but still doesn't feel any better. I think if Polanco looked directly to second, he might have had a play.
I agree, because he did hesitate trying to check that lead runner.
That'll be a single for Aledmys Diaz. And then McCormick scores on an error by Polanco with a throw going into left field. Astros with a couple of flares to right field that have dropped in, not exactly scorching the ball off Maeda, but finding perfect placement by Chas McCormick and Aledmus Diaz. And now Jordan bats with first and second and nobody out. Ground ball right side, gloved by Polanco. Long throw to Simmons for one, and Jordan retired on the double play. On the play, Brantley moves to third.
You can see that tough read by Michael Brantley on first base, going, seeing Sano would get to it, had to stop, hit the brakes, and get back. As soon as you got to head towards second base, a little bit of panic because you want to get there in time to give that hitter a base hit, but he had to wear it.
You could see the impact of that collision. Michael now over at third base after the double play. Here's Carlos Correa. Correa, career .342 hitter against the Twins. 2 for 4 with a couple of walks against Kenta Maeda.
Pitch usage against right-handed hitters, you're going to see that slider 50% of the time. Everything's going to have a little bit of movement to it. Not much on that fastball at 34%, but hitting .340 against it. Mixing that changeup every once in a while, but against left-handed hitters, you can see still a pretty good mix. And not using that fastball as much on the season, right around 34-35%.
Fastball usage not up much. First pitch strike percentage down this year. Strikeout to walk last year was 8, and this year 3.7. Correa doesn't like that call. Maybe has a good point. It's 2-2. That pitch was very similar to the height of the previous pitch called a ball.
Yeah, there's some portions of this zone that we've seen maybe expand a little bit down against Carlos Correa, and we saw inside against Jorge Polanco.
It's wide, 3-2. A couple of hits and a walk in this inning. Now full count on Carlos Correa. Kyle Tucker, coming off a 3-hit game last night, waits on deck. Correa leads the team in walks, including getting one last night. Correa has 55 on the year. That's a strike. Maeda picks up a called third strike to end the inning. Double play and a strikeout gets him out of trouble, but the Astros score a run on a couple of hits.
The Houston Open returns to Memorial Park Golf Course November 8th through the 14th, and tickets are now on sale. So general admission tickets and venue hopper passes are both available. To learn more and to get your tickets, visit Astros. Nope, don't visit Astros.com. Visit HoustonOpenGolf.com/tickets. Man, I've read that so many times it just rolls off the tongue. Hopefully everyone got the right website. We'll get it there. Hey, top of second. Lance McCullers Jr. is back to work, and that great start he had against the Los Angeles Dodgers, it was great to catch up with him after that because of how much fun he had that night, how well he pitched that night. Sinker slider working for him, obviously, and against that lineup. And that pitch, he told me, so important for him to have this season. It was what he was really looking for in 2021, just to be able to have one more weapon, one more way to attack hitters, so that way if one pitch doesn't feel all that right, or if he just finds that a hitter has some weaknesses, he can use so many different weapons in so many different ways. And so him and Martin Maldonado have had a lot of fun, guys, coming up with game plans for each and every lineup he faces this season.
I mean, he was fine with fastball, curveball, change, cutter, and then all of a sudden
he was an all-star.
Right, he was an all-star. But he just keeps looking to be better every year, and all of a sudden he found a pitch that not only has made him better, but it's the elite pitch of all his pitches right now.
Yeah, guys usually go out and try and find a pitch, and then they go, that didn't work, and just scrap it. He just kind of fought through that and found it and made it work, and it's been excellent.
124 batting average against when the slider is put into play coming into today. And Sano's a guy that does not like wrinkles very much. And the Astros have been throwing him a heavy diet of breaking balls.
To your point. My goodness. That's what you were talking about, TK. That run value by pitch, -14 on the slider.
Go back there. See if Sano will chase.
Yeah, he did.
There you go. Lance McCullers makes quick work out of Miguel Sano, who's now 0 for 5 against Lance with 4 strikeouts. I would assume that slider might be in play a lot today against that hitter.
Yeah, and you can even go back to yesterday's game with Luis Garcia. His cutter acts a little bit more like McCullers' slider. So I would imagine he kind of went to town and did some studying and watched how effective that pitch was so he could throw his slider today after watching what Luis Garcia did. But Graveman's two-seamer, in the brief moments we've seen Graveman, that stat makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, when I was talking about the top individual pitches, I forgot about Kendall Graveman. The new guy has that two-seamer that just is filthy. It's the only pitch with total run value near Lance McCullers' slider at -13. And again, this is a cumulative total, so per 100 pitches, Graveman probably has a better mark than Lance's slider, but overall, Lance's slider has had the best run value, according to Baseball Savant, of any pitch of any Astros pitcher this year.
And the first 2 pitches to Jake Cave have been the slider, so he's also, I feel like in the last 3-4 starts, really using that slider a little bit more to left-handed hitters also.
Lance allowed an opening single to Max Kepler on an 0-2 pitch and now has retired the next 5. A couple of strikeouts and 3 groundouts. Infield can expect to be busy when Lance McCullers Jr. is out there. Ground ball percentage, one of the tops in the league, second best in the American League at 55%.
Here's that backdoor slider. There's 2 of them. That one's just perfectly located.
Astros got 6 innings of shutout baseball out of Luis Garcia last night. Twins put 4 runs on Framber Valdez in game 1 and 3 runs on Zach Greinke in game 2. Two and 2 the count to Cave, getting his 2nd straight start after not starting the first 2 games of this series, and he stays alive on a foul ball. Lance has faced Minnesota 3 times in his career. Hasn't faced them since 2018, so not a lot of at-bats in this lineup against Lance. Kepler had a couple of at-bats, Sano 4 at-bats, and Angelton Simmons, a lot of time with the Angels, 19 at-bats. Changeup bounces in there and it's 3 and 2.
Finally got off that slider against Jake Cave.
Cave has missed a lot of time this year with a back injury, missed 64 games. 18 for 100 on the season, batting 180 coming in. And there's a line drive down the right field line. That's a fair ball. That'll head all the way to the corner. Cave on his way to second. Tucker will dig it out. Cave's going to head to third. Diaz throw will be not in time. Jake Cave, a 2-out triple. He puts one down the line and right.
Grinding at bat. Tried to get inside on him, and they did with that slider. But Cave gets the barrel out to it, hits it hard, just a matter of was it going to stay fair, and it just barely did, catching that dirt down the right field line. And with that bounce, put it right in that corner as it deadened, and the speed of Jake Cave gets him into third base here with 2 outs.
First triple of the year for Cave. career triple number 7. That ball had some crazy hops as it went down the line.
That was interesting, wasn't it?
Going back and forth. Trevor Larnach goes the other way. Jordan will play it on a hop, and the Twins have tied the game. A couple of 2-out hits, a triple followed by a single by Trevor Larnach. And we're tied up at 1.
Looked like Larnach just fought off that slider. Not hit hard going the other way. 2-out RBI for the Twins.
It's where that extra 90 feet comes into play. Not sure if Cave would be able to score on that ball if he stayed at second and stretch it out to a triple and it paid off.
That's a good point.
Here's Andrelton Simmons, 4 for 19 in his career against McCullers. Two 2-0 the count. Simmons with more hits and more home runs in his career against the Astros than any other team he's played against. Lance misses 3-0. Nice pitch. Simmons expecting that to stay inside, broke right over the plate, and the count's full.
Yeah, he did this a couple of times to Dodgers right-handed hitters where he'd throw that slider right at him and break it over that inside corner. They just do the same thing, lock up and hope it was on the inside, but with that spin he's able to create, it gets back on the plate. By the time you realize it, you're not in position to be able to make a swing.
Foul tip caught by Maldonado. Lance picks up a strikeout, a couple of strikeouts in the inning, but a couple of 2-out hits by the Twins give them their first run of the game. We're tied at 1.
Spend your Tuesday nights at the ballpark and treat yourself to Dollar Dogs, presented by Nolan Ryan Beef. This season, hot dogs are just $1 every Tuesday night home game, so bring your appetite and get ready to chow down. Text TICKETS to 26099 to get your tickets today.
Guess what, Blummer?
It's not Tuesday.
It's not Tuesday, but we're going to be in the stands on Tuesday.
Oh, we can go get some dogs. How about it? Good call.
Yeah, we can. We're
Just fired me up.
We're going to be broadcasting from the stands on Tuesday night, the first game of that 2-game series against the Rockies. Dollar Dog Night will be in play for the broadcast.
We are back.
And Julia will be part of that out there too. Here's Kyle Tucker. Tucker, Taylor Jones, Jacob Wilson against Kenta Maeda here in the second inning. Tucker waves at that pitch down. Missed the splitter. It's 0-2. Plummer mentioned only 2 regular season starts now for Maeda against the Astros, this being his second. But 5 appearances in the postseason against Houston. 4 World Series games in the 2017 World Series coming out of the bullpen for the Dodgers, games 2, 3, 5, and 6. There's ball the other way, backhanded by Arise, long throw, Tucker just out. Nice play by Luis Arise, who's been dealing with a knee issue, but back in there and made a fine defensive play.
Tucker trying to shoot that the other way to get his day going with the base hit, but Arise did a good job of getting over there, getting to that baseball, and giving a strong throw to Sano. I was curious once he got down on the ground if he was going to pop back up in quick enough fashion to get Tucker.
Yeah, Had to be lifted for a pinch hitter a couple of nights ago, and it did not start yesterday. Came on as a pinch hitter yesterday. Here's Taylor Jones. He hits the ball sharply, but on one hop, Polanco is there and makes the play on Jones for out number 2. So a couple of ground ball outs that could have been hits. Instead, 2 outs, nobody on, and we'll get the Astros debut of Jacob Wilson here, as he will hit for the first time in an Astros uniform. Hasn't had a lot of major league time. In fact, it all was earlier this year. The 31-year-old had 7 at-bats for the Oakland A's. As you can see, he was Conference USA Player of the Year at University of Memphis, chosen originally by the Cardinals, and the Nationals got him in a Rule 5 pick. Played 2019 in the KBO with Brooks Raley on his team. They're both at Latte in the Korean baseball organization, so he knew Brooks coming over here.
Just another good story of perseverance.
AAA Las Vegas this year for the A's, he was hitting .288 with 14 home runs. And Wilson was only with Sugarland for a day, worked out with them, and was expecting to play for them this weekend in Round Rock. He was in Round Rock and took BP and took rounders before the game to start that series against the Express on Thursday. And then Mickey Story, the Sugarland manager, called him in after that first night and said, "You ready to go?" He's like, "Yeah, I can play tomorrow." And Mickey's like, "You sure you're ready?" He's like, "Yeah, I took my grounders. I'm ready to go." Hitting the cage. Mickey's like, "You're going to play tomorrow." He's like,
pack
"Good."
your bag.
He's like, "Good." He's like, "You're going to play for Houston." And Jacob said it took him about 5 to 10 seconds to process it all.
I believe it.
Because he just joined the organization. Hadn't even played a game at AAA.
Yeah, you're happy just to get another opportunity, and all of a sudden that opportunity's in the show.
It's a good
a nice surprise.
Got his first hit of his major league career earlier this summer in Oakland against the Angels. It was a single. He's 1 for 7 in his big league career. And lays off that pitch 2-2. He rode over with Taylor Jones from Round Rock as they were both called up on the same day. Now hitting back-to-back in the lineup. In the air into right center field. Kepler will move to his right to put it away for the final out of the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Kenta Maeda. We head to the third. 1-1. No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Hail Cesar Cedeno, who played a great center field in his time with the Houston Astros. 5 straight Gold Gloves from 72 through 76. He could go get the ball. Great arm as well. Number 28 patrolling the dome for the Astros through the years. Great to get to finally meet Cesar as he joined us in the booth here on Friday night. Part of the Hall of Fame induction class of 2020 that was finally formally introduced last night.
Taking advantage of Pedro Guerrero hugging the line there, snuck it past him, but Dusty did his best to try and get Cesar Cedeno at second base. No chance with those wheels.
Lance McCullers back out there for his third inning of work, facing the top of the order. His change up to Max Kepler is off the plate. It's 1-0. One observant viewer noted that after Cesar Cedeno was in our booth in the top of the second inning, number 28 Taylor Jones hit a 2-run home run the bottom half of that inning.
There you go.
So the power of the 28th. Taylor's only hit right now in this series, although he hit the ball hard his last time up. There's a strike to Kepler. Kepler had an 0-2 pitch in the left field for a single his first time. Lance allowing 3 hits in this game. A couple of 2-out hits in the second inning, tying up the game for the Twins. This ball on the ground, and there is 28 Taylor Jones. He will race to the bag himself and beat Kepler for the first out of the third inning. Astros start the day with the second best record in the American League, leading the Oakland A's by 3 games. What's been happening lately in the AL is the Yankees and the Blue Jays have gone from teams that were a little bit behind that wild card picture to now all of a sudden putting pressure on the A's and the Red Sox for the 2 wild card spots. Both the Yankees and Toronto have won 10 of their last 12 games. Here's Brent Rooker. Here's a called strike. That AL East is going to be fun to watch the final 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch what Boston has been doing as Toronto and New York have been surging, but so is Tampa Bay. They're playing some very good baseball. You see the Astros' best records with their home records off to the right. Trying to get some of that home field advantage heading into the playoffs.
Little tapper back to the mound. Lance McCullers makes the jumping stop for out number 2. Lance makes the play on Brent Rooker.
But you kind of feel that's where the Astros could take advantage and get that best record in the American League, because those 3-4 teams out there out east are just going to start pounding on each other when they start to play each other down the stretch.
Yeah, I think sometimes we undervalue the importance of finishing as the 1st or 2nd seed. Obviously, you just want to get in the postseason. But if you're the 3 seed in a shortened series, in a 5-game series, 2-2-1, you're starting on the road. It's a tough ask. I think it's that 2nd seed versus the 3rd seed is a bigger deal than people make of it.
I agree. We saw it last year in that expanded wild card. The Astros get a tough draw like that. I know the Astros had that sub 500 record, but they're a tough team. And if they snuck in last year on the road, but I think this year is going to be a little bit different with going through a 162 game schedule, and more notably on the National League side with that lower seed wild card situation possibly being the Dodgers and the Padres.
Yeah, whoever the 5 seed ends up being in the National League very well could have a better record than the 3 seed, because whoever wins the NL East is probably going to have the worst record in the National League of the playoff contenders.
But with some of the additions that were made in that American League East, I mean, it could be the same way for the wild card or 5th seed in the American League too, the way things are shaping up.
It'll be fun to watch. We have 8 weeks to go from today. 50 games after this afternoon's contest. Tomorrow an off day, so they'll play 50 games over the final 55 days.
Now, I took some heat online the other day, TK, for saying if the Astros, as you look at the National League East standings, if the Astros get into the playoffs, but that's just my ball player head, because you're in the middle of August. It's not until you actually get that bid where you say, yes, we are going to the playoffs, because nothing is given in this league, that is for sure.
There's a pitch outside for ball 4. First walk allowed by McCullers as Polanco draws a walk with 2 outs. No, I mean, to your point, it's not like the A's have a stranglehold on the 2nd wild card spot.
Yeah.
And they are only 3 games behind the Astros. The A's right now, starting today's play, lead the Yankees by 1.5 games for the 2nd wild card spot.
Well, they came back in there in a hurry.
The Yankees have been rolling. So the separation right now for the Astros from that 2nd wild card spot being bounced is only 4.5 games. It's not like they're 10 games in front of being moved out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's only August 8th.
Exactly. So, yeah, obviously you're in the position now where you're up by 3 games and schedule looks better for the Astros than it does for the A's and some other teams, but there's still a long way to go.
And it's not for lack of faith. I have all the faith in these guys that they're going to go out there and continue to maintain the pace at the top of the American League West and get into those playoffs. Just tempered a little bit.
So here we go, Blummer.
Wow. There's a lot going on there, TK.
There's a lot. All right, so the top half is the West Division.
Yep.
And then the bottom half is the leads in the wild card. Currently, Boston and Oakland would make the wild card, but the Yankees and Toronto not far behind, and Seattle still in the picture. Ground ball rolled to Jacob Wilson, who'll make the play to 2nd to Aledmys Diaz, and that'll do it for the Twins in the 3rd inning. A walk, one man left on base. We head to the bottom half, tied at 1.
Go with the AT&T Sportsnet app on iTunes or Google Play. You can also go to attsportsnet.com to stream from your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available to customers with AT&T Sportsnet as part of their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply. Talking about Chas McCormick, who we'll see to appear 7 hits in this series. We saw him get one as he was leading off for Dusty Baker this afternoon. And after the game yesterday, the game where he had 2 hits and an RBI in the win, he told me he's seen the ball really well. There are some things that he really wanted to focus in on here recently, and very happy with the way he's swinging it right now. But a huge opportunity for the team, for him with this team, now that Myles Straw has been traded away to Cleveland. The playing time is there. He knows that. He said as much last night that he really wants to take advantage of this opportunity. It's what you want. It's exactly what you dream of. Now, he does miss his buddy Myles Straw. They all do. That's one of Chaz's best friends, he said, but this is important to him right now, and he's got to focus on that. Dusty Baker saying something very similar, guys, on you got to give Chaz this opportunity, see what he can do there today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch because a lot of times when guys in August and September get a chance to play every day for the first time, it's on a team that's not really contending. Chaz is right in the middle of a team hoping to make the World Series.
That's what makes that trade a little more interesting, is because you traded away your starting center fielder on a #1 division team. But they wouldn't have done it if they didn't have faith or have guys like Chas McCormick and a Jake Myers. But yeah, it's one thing to go in there and break in against, on a team that's playing 500 where you can kind of cut your teeth a little bit and work on things. But when you're on a division leading team, sometimes things can be magnified or exaggerated.
Yeah, example of the team that the Astros are playing right now. Brent Rooker, We've seen him play every day. Trevor Larnach the same. If those guys go out and make mistakes or don't come through in big at bats, it stinks. But Minnesota fans are going to be it's part of the growing process.
Yeah, he's learning.
Here it's like, you better produce because we've got a 3-game lead with 8 weeks to go. And so far, so good for Chas McCormick.
Yeah, definitely a different kind of expectation put on rookie ball players when you're coming in on a team that is leading. Fortunately for Chas, I mean, everything he's done has been great, but you're also in a lineup where you're pretty well protected.
The lineup might get thicker next week, too. 2-2 count to Maldonado, who fouls one at the plate. Alex Bregman could be back before the homestand is over. Off day tomorrow. We'll see where things are with Alex on Tuesday. Two and two the count on Maldonado. Maldonado looking for his first career hit against Maeda. He is 0 for 12 with 5 strikeouts. And he puts the ball in the air, foul out of play. Julie, what was the update today on Alex Bregman?
Well, I'm keeping my eyes on the dugout to see when he pops up. He is expected to be at the ballpark today, and I'm playing in Round Rock last night. So after the game, he got in the car and drove home. So it was a late night for him, but he was supposed to arrive to the ballpark and then get here, just really talk to everyone. They wanted to see how he was feeling, see what was going on with him. Dusty Baker even mentioned just mentally, physically, is he in a great place to where they could activate him, like you said, before Tuesday's game?
And good news, he's close. And then by the next road trip, we should see Yuli Gurriel back in the lineup, you would think. Astros wrapping up this homestand on Wednesday. Off day before and an off day after. Astros have had their share of off days lately, a couple of off days on the road trip, and now they'll have a Monday, Thursday off day next week. Good time to get rested up for that final stretch. We saw Maldonado get a rare night off last night. Luis Garcia was on the mound. Dusty said he just wanted to mix things up a little bit with Maldonado catching Luis previous 2 times on the road. Garcia had struggled in those 2 outings, so Castro got the start last night. And then Dusty said post-game that it may be something that Jake Odorizzi can benefit from. He's going to switch it up with Odorizzi in his next start on Tuesday, and Odorizzi will have Martin Maldonado behind the plate after having Castro catch him the entire season.
It's kind of interesting.
Just a different look.
Yeah, just some subtle changes. See if you can't find that mix to correct things and make things better. Worked out well last night. Castro and Garcia worked very well together.
2-2 pitch off the end of the bat. Maeda will glove it in underhand. Maldonado retired for the first out. Well, here is Chas McCormick batting leadoff for just the second time in his young career. Singled on the first pitch he saw in the right field his first time up and scored the only run for the Astros. Michael Brantley, who took an elbow or an arm to the head on a play at second base from Andrelton Simmons, is not on deck right now. He was scheduled to bat third in this inning, but Jake Myers looks like he will pinch hit for the designated hitter Brantley.
Man, you hope everything's all right with Michael. We were just talking about how Bregman might be coming back, Yuli coming back soon. Astros getting back to full strength as they try to finish off this season. And now Michael Brantley coming out of this game.
You wonder if they had to go through the concussion protocol test.
Yeah, I mean, there's several things. You're right. It's a good call.
I know he's been bothered by that ankle, but he seemed to get to second base okay, but he was just...
Well, and then he got rolled up. You know, it could have been rolled on that ankle again, and then the elbow to the nose.
Well, Myers will finally get an at bat against somebody other than a hard throwing closer at the back end of the bullpen.
Chas getting a call right there. And I agree, it's one thing to go in there and get one at bat a game. Jake's probably excited about getting more than one at bat in a game.
So far, Myers has faced Jake McGee, Brusdar Gratterall, and Kenley Jansen in his 3 major league at bats. McCormick with a count of 2-2. And Maeda picks up a strikeout, getting McCormick with a slider. That's the second strikeout for Kenta Maeda. 2 away.
So Brantley on a tough read off the bat of Aledmys Diaz, off the glove of Sano. Thought he was going to catch it, didn't catch it, had to hustle into second base. The throw comes in, and then Andrelton Simmons just puts the people's elbow into the face of Michael Brantley. You can see that shot to the head, even with the helmet on, maybe the neck. You just hope that he's all right, and it may be precautionary to check on him and make sure that everything is okay and still in order.
Well, here's Jake Myers getting his 4th big league at bat, looking for his first hit. Myers went 0 for 3 on that road trip with a couple of strikeouts. Got a pinch hit at bat in San Francisco, then a couple of at bats in that series in LA. First home at bat for Myers. And he misses the slider. He's down to the count 0-2.
Yeah, Maeda is heavy on the off speed. Talked about his pitch usage earlier on the season. Basically 33% fastball, slider, and changeup. Throw that slider more often to right-handed hitters. There you go. Fish ain't biting.
Myers, 25 years old, out of the University of Nebraska. Down on the count here, 1-2. Good season going at AAA Sugar Land when he was called up. Tries to hold up on that slider and does. Well, check swing, says Jerry Meals, the crew chief. It's 2-2.
Thought about it.
Called out on a pitch on the outside corner. So Maeda picks up 2 strikeouts to end the inning. 1, 2, 3, third. He's retired 8 in a row. The pick-em plan allows you to select tickets to any available game up until first pitch. Come with one friend or bring the whole crew. The plan comes with vouchers you can use as you see fit. Visit astros.com/ticket plans to learn more. Here's Luis Arraez. Grounded out his first time up. That went outside for ball one. Arraez, Miguel Sano, and Jake Cave, a couple of lefties due up in this inning against Lance McCullers. Arraez, like Michael Brantley and Yuli Gurriel, high contact hitter. Rarely strikes out much, hits well behind in the count and with 2 strikes. Lately he's been hitting a lot, .433 over his last 20 games.
Yeah, you'll see the Astros play straight up against Arraez, which is a rarity. And that's because he sprays that baseball all over the field.
Down low, 3-1. Ball 4 to lead off the 4th inning. A couple of walks the last 2 innings from McCullers. He's had at least 2 walks allowed in all 19 of his starts this year. So now face Miguel Sano.
It's still a high ground ball guy, so he does have the opportunity to erase some of those walks with ground balls and using that defense behind him. 55% this season is that ground ball percentage for Lance.
Sano drives one deep to left field. No doubt about this. That is up on the train tracks and bounces onto the field. Sano hits a 2-run home run on the first pitch he sees in the 4th inning and makes it a 3-1 Twins lead.
It's actually something Lance has been very good at this year, is keeping the ball in the ballpark. It's only the 8th home run he's given up this season in now 19 starts. Use that slider to get him to strike out in that previous at bat. Sano going out and getting this one, barreling it up. 107.6 off the bat. Big ol' uppercut.
Last 7 starts for Lance, only 1 home run allowed before that 2-run shot by Sano. 18th home run of the year for Miguel. Takes a punch from Astudillo. It's a nice home run celebration. Here's Jake Cave.
Yeah, that would not encourage me to hit any home runs.
So the Twins were down 1-0, now lead at 3-1. Cave tripled his first time up. He chops one off his foot at the plate. It's 1-1.
Coming into this game, the slugging percentage on that slider is 168.
Ball blind to left. Jordan moves to his right a little bit. Puts it away for the first out. Slugging percentage?
Yeah, the slugging percentage against the slider coming into today was 168. Cave has a triple on it, and then the home run by Sano on that slider.
So that number will go up a little bit. I think that was just the 2nd home run he's allowed on the slider.
You are correct.
So that's been his most effective pitch this year. And you said he got Sano earlier just chasing that slider, but that one started at him and ended up in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, probably caught too much of the plate for what Lance wanted to do, because we talked about Sano being susceptible to the chase, and he showed that in the first at bat. But we're probably sitting on that pitch in this at bat.
Falling behind Larnach 2-0. Trevor Larnach singled into left field on the first pitch he saw in the 2nd inning. Goes the other way, and that's going to find its way into left field, in on the hands of Larnach, and he fights it off against the shift for a base hit to left. That is the 5th hit of the game for the Twins. Larnach, a 1-out base runner.
Sure if that was the game plan for Larnach coming into this game, but that's the second time he's taken a pitch on that inner third and gone the other way with it, really pulling the hands in and fighting it the other way.
Well, the Twins have had some base runners against McCullers tonight, or this afternoon. 5 hits and a couple of walks. We're in the 4th. I'll bring up the 9-hitter, Andrelton Simmons, who wears number 9. He struck out his first time up. One of 3 strikeouts for McCullers first time through the lineup. No strikeouts this time through the lineup as he faces the 9-hitter. And he starts him off with a good slider for a strike. Simmons trying to bunt. Got that 2-seamer running in on him. It's 0-2.
He will do that. He'll do it with guys at third base too. We saw that earlier in this series. Is always a ground ball away from getting out of this.
In the left field, playable for Alvarez. Or no fly ball outs prior to this inning, and the 2 outs this inning have both gone to Alvarez and left. 2 away here in the 4th. Back to the top of the order for Max Kepler. Kepler 1 for 2 with a single. Lance only needed 12 pitches in the first inning. The Twins have done a better job here putting some pitches on him the last 3. His 65th pitch of this game right here. Chopper foul. It's 1-1. Two-run home run in this inning by Miguel Sano after the leadoff walk to Luis Arraez. And the Twins have gained their first lead of this game. Called third strike. He dropped it in. Excuse me, that's the second strike. That was 1-2. Dropped it in on the outside corner. It's 1-2.
Backdoor slider. That was beautifully done. Seen a couple of those in this ball game for Lance.
And a little looper. Doesn't get that call. Carapazza has been giving pitchers that outside edge. That one a little too far off. It's 3-2.
Yeah, and you can tell by the reaction of Kenta Maeda. He's wondering why he didn't get that one, because it has been called on both sides for both Lance and Kenta. See if that extra pitch doesn't do Aledmys Diaz some good right here in this 3-2 count.
Not under it. High fly ball into left field. Larnach will come in and put it away for the first out.
That comp that Julia was talking about earlier, Moises Alou and Yordan Alvarez. Astro ranks at home, trying to catch up to Moises in those at-bats, but already very good batting average for Yordan. On base percentage at .393, and that slugging percentage very close to what Moises Alou did in a very short amount of time here at Minute Maid Park.
Yordan 47 games quicker than Lance Berkman in his career to 50 home runs, by far the fastest Astro in their history to get their first 50 home runs. Grounded into a double play his first time up. Yordan facing Maeda for the first time. There's a strike. It's 1-2. Alvarez coming in with a 6-game hitting streak, including 5 hits in this series against the Twins. Drive the other way. Larnach back at the wall, looks up, and it's off the top of the wall and bounds away. Yordan hustles to second, goes in sliding with a double. Yordan didn't miss putting one in the Crawford boxes by much, ends up with a 1-out double.
That's really one thing I think when Yordan Alvarez keys on what pitchers are doing to him. They stay away from him here at Minute Maid Park for good reason, but he also has plenty of power going the other way. And when he finds a way to sneak some of these fly balls into that Crawford box, it's only going to make those numbers here at Minute Maid Park that much better. He missed that ball and still hit it high off that left field wall. He got beat and still had enough power to almost get it out of here.
I love to hear that. A guy that has 50 home runs in 184 games still
trying to figure out how to really use the opposite field. He hasn't used the entire ballpark, and he's got 50 home runs.
Here's Carlos Correa. Correa, big swing, fouls it back.
It's a great two-strike approach too, by the way, by Yordan, doing a good job staying on that fastball away.
You know, he was in the top 10 for a while. He may be creeping back up there in terms of batting average with 2 strikes. He's chasing his teammates who are top 2, Michael Brantley and Yuli Gurriel. Actually goes Gurriel then Brantley. But Yordan, one of the better hitters in the league, hitting with 2 strikes, and he does it with some power. A 1-pitch Correa tried to hold up and does.
I feel like Kenta Maeda is really, he's used that slider early and then tried to throw the split off the slider. Kind of slow things down but create different movement to it, where the split will be a little more downward action, the slider coming across the plate. Almost got Carlos to check his swing on that split. And then he'll use that fastball in some key spots, maybe when he's even or ahead in the count.
Got one away, 2-1. Looking up the top 10 highest averages with 2 strikes, Yuli is first in the major leagues. Michael Brantley second. The Twins' Luis Ariz is fourth. There is another Astro in the top 10, but it's not Yordan Alvarez. Kyle Tucker's moved all the way up into the 7th spot.
Do it, Tuck.
Tucker's on deck with 1 out and a runner in scoring position for Carlos Correa. There's that splitter for a swinging strike, 2-2.
So in this at bat, he's gone slider, split, slider, split. Now does he try and sneak that fastball past Carlos? Good movement on that split.
Went back to the slider. He doesn't have any swings and misses on the fastball yet today, but he does have 4 whiffs on the slider and 3 whiffs on the splitter. So you've been saying slider, splitter, slider, splitter, so it's almost like he's due for a splitter here.
Yeah, would this be a split right here? Hopefully he hangs it. It's also a spot for that fastball because everything's been slow to Carlos in this at bat.
There was the fastball. Now the count's gone full. Correa got to a full count his last time up and took a fastball for a called 3rd strike. Obviously expecting something other than the fastball in that at bat. Bottom of the zone, called 3rd strike. It was the fastball again. This one a little closer to the edge, and Correa strikes out looking for the 2nd time today.
Just a pitcher's pitch. Catching the bottom part of that zone. So 4 strikeouts in this game for Kenta Maeda. 3 of them have been looking, and all 3 of them have been on the fastball.
Now Kyle Tucker will bat. Tucker retired on a nice play by the 3rd baseman Luis Ariz his first time up. Tucker with 67 runs batted in. Yordan Alvarez leads the way with 73 RBIs on this team. Tucker tries to hold up. Goes around. It's 1-1. Astros took the early lead on a Flair single by Ledmus Diaz. Chas McCormick would score on an error. It was still an earned run as the rest of the inning played out. But since then, Maeda's only allowed that double by Alvarez off the Crawford box out of town scoreboard wall. 2-1 to Tucker. Missed the bottom of the zone, 3-1. And they're going to intentionally walk Tucker. They're not even going to pitch to him with a 3-1 count. So Tucker officially gets intentionally walked. And that'll bring up Taylor Jones.
An opportunity for Taylor Jones to help out his ball club. As Maeda didn't want a piece of Kyle Tucker.
Jones hit the ball hard his first time up, but hit it into the shift right to Jorge Polanco. In fact, it's the hardest hit baseball today against Kenta Maeda, 100 miles an hour off the bat. Takes the slider off the plate, 1-0, and that'll draw a visit from Mitch Garver. Maeda has thrown 24 pitches in this inning. Maeda, 33 years old. Mentioned he finished runner-up last year in the Cy Young voting to Shane Bieber. Pitched very well against the Astros in Game 1 of that wild card game. Did not allow a run over 5 innings. In fact, in his postseason work against the Astros going back to the 2017 World Series, Maeda's only allowed 1 run in 10 2/3 innings. That was a Jose Altuve solo home run. Goes back to the slider and gets Jones swinging and missing. And that one, it's 1-1.
I think Taylor was sitting on that one. There was a pretty good break on that slider.
The other way, diving is tempt by Polanco. Throw in time to get Jones. What a play by Polanco. The inning is over. But the Twins weren't sure, and Sano threw home just in case. But Jones was called out at first base. So that'll end the inning. It's 3-1 Twins after 4.
Kind of interesting to have Sano come up firing to home plate. You wonder if he was convinced he was out at first base, but I give credit to the Astros continuing to play through the whistle. We're going to get a better look at it here. Does Jones beat it? Looks like he might.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what, TK?
So the play will hold. It'll be a 3-2 game.
There we go.
You're right, though. For Sano to come up firing, he had to think, maybe I didn't get him.
That was just the natural instinct from Miguel Sano on that play to come towards home plate. Showing it on El Grande here. You can hear the reaction.
Taylor Jones is going to beat out an infield hit. It was a great play by Polanco to keep the ball in the infield, and then he almost made the play to get the out.
Yeah, it was an incredible play just to keep that ball in the infield. I'm kind of curious to see after this replay is overturned where they put the runners.
Well, the play played out, right? So it's just
but the play was dead after the out call was made.
They played it out, though. So it's wherever.
So they can go ahead and say that's how it would have been?
Because they played it out.
Okay. We got more faith in these guys than I do.
I mean, the ball.
No, I agree. It played out. That's what I'm giving credit to Yordan Alvarez for hustling.
Yordan scored. Tucker got all the way to third. So that's where they should end up, I would imagine. Because the ball they played it out even after the out call. So Sano knew, and to his credit, he played it out. Because even if he holds it, you can't say it's a dead ball while Alvarez is trying to score. So there's the safe call.
Yep, and they put everybody right where they're supposed to go. Because that was the only thing I was assuming with Rocco Baldelli out there to talk to Vic Carapazza. But that was a phenomenal play by Polanco. Great hustle by Jones. And you could see the immediate reaction from Sano was that the runner was safe at first. I've got to get the runner at home plate. There was no hesitation from Sano.
And then Sano's throw goes past the catcher Garver, allowing Tucker to get to third.
How about Jordan running right through Omar Lopez right there and forcing that play at home plate? He kind of waved and then stopped and then went, oh boy, here we go.
Once Jordan's got momentum, don't try and hold him up. That'll be an RBI single for Taylor Jones, and the error allowing Tucker to move from second to third, and now the Astros within a run. And Jacob Wilson in his first game as an Astro, and significant spot here with 2 on and 2 outs. There's a strike. Sano made a throw to end the game against the Astros on Friday night on a Jose Altuve bunt. Well, that throw, as he knew the play was probably still alive, was not a good one to home plate. So the Astros get a run out of that. Taylor Jones ends up with an RBI out of that because Yordan Alvarez never stopped coming around third. Now 3-2 game. Wilson with a count of 1-1, flied out to right field his first time up. Yeah, great time for your first major league RBI right here. University of Memphis Tiger, 31 years old. Misses a slider. It's 1-2. Wilson was initially called up by the A's here at Minute Maid Park. Didn't get into a game for Oakland that series. Said he was just kind of taking it all in, looking up around Minute Maid Park, soaking up his first major league experience. And here he is a few weeks later playing for the Astros. Most recently played for the A's on the 28th of July. That was a week ago Thursday, a week ago Wednesday. And then put on waivers and the Astros picked him up. Good take there, 2-2. Tucker on third base, Jones on first. Astros haven't exactly punished the baseball today against Maeda, but they have a couple of runs against them. That one popped high in the air, foul territory. Garver and Sano converge. Who wants it? Sano takes charge for the final out of the inning. Astros get a run on a couple of hits, an error in the mix. They trail this game 3-2.
The Shiner Spotlight falls on LNJ. That's Lance McCullers Jr. He debuted in 2015. He actually pitched in the postseason for the first time that season. We've seen him pitch 14 different times in the playoffs, but we're going to shine a light on just the ALCS and the World Series, these appearances for just a second. Decent amount of work. You see the innings there. ERA 2.60, swing and miss definitely there. 37 punch-outs against some of the best lineups out there. Missed the chance to pitch in those series in 2019. Was coming back from Tommy John surgery, came back in 2020 to pitch in the postseason. I look forward to seeing what McCullers can do here on out in October as he continues to find ways to get better, guys.
Yeah, Lance definitely has stepped it up in those scenarios. And he'll start out the fifth with his team trailing by a run. A couple of 2-out hits in the second inning and a 2-run home run by Miguel Sano in the fourth has the Twins in front, 3-2. Lance will face 3, 4, and 5, third time through the lineup. Jorge Polanco, Mitch Garber, and Luis Arraez. He delivers a fastball away, 1-0. That ball hit well the other way. Yordan Alvarez looks up, and that will be into the Crawford boxes. second home run allowed by McCullers in this game, as Jorge Polanco now has 10 home runs since the 4th of July, one of the top totals in the major leagues, as he hits his 19th of the year.
It's only the second time Lance has given up multi-home runs in a game. Last time he did it was on May 6th. Polanco just staying on a two-seam fastball away and shooting it into the Crawford box.
So the Twins back to their 2-run lead. It's 4-2 as Mitch Garver will bat. There's a strike. Garver has grounded out and grounded into a fielder's choice.
It's a 350-foot home run. Only gets out of one ballpark.
One.
Yep. We're living in it.
How about it? 1-1 the count. Lance has gone 6 consecutive starts with at least 8 strikeouts and 7 with at least 7 strikeouts in a row. But today struck out 3 the first time through the lineup, but hasn't struck out anybody since the end of the second. As Garver puts this one in play. Second baseman Aledmus Diaz getting called off by Kyle Tucker. Tucker puts it away for out number 1.
Clutch situations in the playoffs. You can see the ALCS ERA leaders with a minimum of 20 innings pitched. Blue Moon Odom well on top. Some big names on that list, and you get out down there in that 10 spot. Lance McCullers Jr. gets on that list with a 2.28 ERA.
Oakland A's at the top of that list. They are the only American League team to appear in 5 consecutive championship series in a row.
Wow.
The Astros have a chance to make history this year if they get to their 5th ALCS in a row, tying those Oakland A's of the early 70s. Here's Luis Arraez. A little different now. Back then you just won your division.
Go right into it.
You're right into it. Now you have to win a round, or in some cases 2, like last year. Arraez takes a pitch down low for a ball, 2-1. The Braves have the all-time record, 8 in a row. They had a strike here in the midst of that. The Astros 4 straight seasons playing in the championship series. Lance misses down and into Arraez. It's 3-1. Arraez walked and then scored on the Miguel Sano home run his last time up. There is Sano.
Those 90s Braves teams were unbelievable.
8 straight.
Yeah.
That's hit well to right field on 3-1 pitch. Arraez went down and got that one.
How did he hit that?
That was almost going to hit his foot.
I think if he would have let it go, it would have hit him.
Guy puts the bat on the ball. We told you about his ability to make contact.
It's a slider at 86, busting him down and in, and somehow is able to bring the bat far enough to the inside to keep that fair.
It's a new season high in hits allowed by McCullers. His previous high was 7 hits allowed in 7 innings against the Oakland A's on July the 8th. The Twins now with 8 hits. Lance will pitch to Miguel Sano. Hit that home run onto the train tracks his last time up. Takes a strike. Sano had been 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts in his career against Lance before he crushed that pitch for a 2-run home run. Now Lance getting ahead 0-2. That's fastball 97.
Might be a little anger behind those.
I think so. Now I think you can sweep that slider off the plate.
Yeah, because you've definitely sped him up, thinking about 95 to 97.
Went back to the heater. Got him on 3 pitches. 1, 2, 3. Down goes Sano. Out number 2. Strikeout number 4 for McCullers.
Plant's not messing around. Good morning, good afternoon, good night with the fastball.
I'll bring up Jake Cave. Cave has tripled, scored a run, also lined out to left. Those first 2 pitches to Sano were his highest velocity fastballs of the day. So you're right, there was a little bit
of hate behind that. It's okay.
Channeled energy.
Yeah, totally understandable.
He's got 2 strikeouts on the slider today and 2 strikeouts on the fastball. That one hits Cave on a pitch down and in.
That's the same pitch that Arise got a base hit on.
Twins with runners on first and second here with 2 outs. Lance hits Cave. That'll bring up Trevor Larnach. Astros shift Larnach, but he's been able to beat the shift a couple of times with 2 base hits to left field.
Yeah, during those 2 at-bats, it really feels like Larnach has forced the ball to that side. Not sure if it's on purpose or because of the shift, but it's worked. So that's a hit by pitch, maybe catching the top of the shoe or a shoelace. Got that little toe, little pig.
Two 2-0 the count. Twins have had their share of base runners. 4 reached last inning and 3 more reaching this inning. Astros will get their bullpen going for the first time today. Phil Maton warming up, as Lance has missed on the first 3 to Trevor Larnach. It's 3-0. Lance has walked 2 and hit a batter at 4 2/3 today. Twins lead 4-2. Last 3 runs scoring against McCullers on home runs. There's a strike. That's normally a guy that will get it up to around 100 pitches at least. He's gone 100 or more pitches in 6 of his last 7 outings. Right now he's at 88.
Lance averages 98.6 pitches per start.
There's a walk after a hit batter. That's his 3rd walk.
5th highest in Major League Baseball.
Dusty was sitting and now he has left his seat, but not going out there here. He's going to let Lance get one more batter, it appears, unless he's asking Maldonado to stall here, with Maton just beginning to warm up.
He's definitely got his eyes on the dugout.
Dusty's on the step and now here he comes. Dusty told Maldi to go out and have a word with Lance, try and give Phil Maton a couple of extra warm-up pitches. Lance wanted to stay in there. He said, I got it. But Dusty's going to go get the baseball from him here with the bases loaded. We'll have a pitching change. Twins lead the Astros 4-2. McCullers will leave the game in the 5th, and Phil Maton will be on to pitch.
This week's Astros Bases Loaded sees GM James Click making deals at the deadline, and Skeeter's manager Mickey Story talks about watching his players get the call to the big leagues. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded before every pregame and after every postgame show, only on AT&T Sportsnet.
New pitcher for the Astros as we see Billy Wagner right in front of his own new Hall of Fame plaque out there in Hall of Fame Alley. He was at the ball game today.
He was enjoying it.
Yeah.
Taking in the sights, taking in the sounds, and appreciating the fact that he is going to be honored forever right here at Minute Maid Park.
Good for Wags, and good for Will Wagner, his son, who hit his first home run in the minor leagues yesterday.
How awesome. I mean, this has probably been the best weekend for Billy Wagner until his son gets called up someday.
He was locked into his son's at-bats with the Woodpeckers. As Phil Maton, the new pitcher, delivers a breaking ball for a swinging strike facing Andrelton Simmons.
Yeah, big spot for new Astro Phil Maton. Between Cleveland and Houston, has a 4.17 ERA. That number across the bottom, that almost 13 strikeouts per 9, is what makes him appealing to the Astros with that swing and miss ability. Could use it right here with the bases juiced, 2 outs.
Big breaking ball, and Simmons has missed them both. Maton gets ahead 0-2. Lance came out of the game against the Dodgers with 2 runners on and 2 outs and got a big boost from Blake Taylor striking out Max Muncy. He could use the same help here with the bases loaded from Phil Maton against Andrelton Simmons. That ball driven to left field, hit well. Jordan back though, and he has a play on the warning track for the final out of the inning. Simmons hit it well, but Maton able to strand 3. We're halfway home with the Twins leading 4-2. Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Ford, built Ford proud, built Ford tough, and by CCA Star Fishing Tournament. Over $1 million in prizes and scholarships. Visit startournament.org. Cesar Cedeno, one of the inductees in the 2020 Hall of Fame class, had the induction ceremony last night. There is his plaque on the Hall of Fame alley out there in left field as Martin Maldonado swings through a slider from Kenta Maeda. Maeda's allowed 2 runs on 4 hits through 4 innings. Astros haven't hit the ball very hard today against him. They have managed a couple of runs. Only 1 baseball hit 95 miles an hour or better. And that's considered hard hits. Only 1 hard hit baseball today against Maeda. And Maldonado down to the count 0-2. Martin bounced back to the pitcher his first time up. He has struggled in his career against Maeda. 0 for 13 now with 5 strikeouts. It'll be Maldonado and then Chas McCormick and Jake Myers here in the 5th inning. Myers now the DH for the Astros with Michael Brantley leaving. Off the glove of Maeda could be trouble. Simmons tries the bare hand, and the bare hand ends up with Jorge Polanco. How about Martin Maldonado with an infield hit?
3 players touched it. Nobody could pick it up. Base hit for Maldi.
Your basic infield hit.
Did a good job in that 2-strike count just to hit it hard, and Maeda slowed it down enough to where it turned into a do or die for Simmons. And when he was unable to barehand it, it skipped into the hands of Polanco, who had no chance.
So now Chas McCormick will bat. Again, not hard contact, but the Astros will take it as a base hit. That's 5 hits for Houston.
Maldi's on the board against Maeda with that rocket.
Chas flared one into right field that dropped in for a hit his first time up as he takes a pitch on the inside corner. The splitter stays on the edge for a strike. Maeda normally doesn't throw a lot of first pitch strikes. Mentioned just 32% coming into today, but He's been much better this afternoon. 15 of 19 first pitch strikes. And he gets ahead of McCormick 0-2. Chaz 1 for 2 with a strikeout. 11 for 20 on the season against the Minnesota Twins. Fouled out of play. Chaz in the series 7 for 15 with a home run, a couple of runs batted in. Altuve with a day off, so Chaz moved into the leadoff spot for the second time this year. Astros have had 6 different hitters bat leadoff this year. Altuve by far the most, and then Miles Straw, Carlos Correa, Kyle Tucker. Chaz McCormick, and 1 start in the leadoff spot for Robel Garcia. One and 2 the count. 83 pitches for Maeda. He normally doesn't go over 100. In fact, he hasn't all year. 97 is his high water mark in pitch count this season. And he gets McCormick to chase on that slider off the plate. Maeda picks up his 5th strikeout, 1 out in the 5th.
It's really that 3rd time through the order, like you're talking about, TK, where he doesn't get up above 100 pitches. The 3rd time through the order is when numbers start to jump a little bit against Kenta Maeda, going from 239 batting average that 2nd time through to 305. And that OPS at 672 goes up to 937.
Might bode well for Jake Meyers to get his first big league hit. Meyers struck out looking his first time up, takes a pitch off the plate. First time in his major league career he gets 2 at-bats in the same game. Came on as a designated hitter for Michael Brantley. You have an update on Michael?
We do. He was taken out of this game for precautionary reasons after being struck in the head during that collision at second base. So hopefully after the game you get some results and some good news. Get Michael Brantley back relatively quick, but that was a pretty good collision at second base.
Myers with a 2-0 count. Feels like in his other major league at bats he's been working from behind in the count, so now he's got a hitter's count in his 5th major league at bat. Myers with an OPS over 1,000 at the AAA level. Takes a big swing at that slider and misses it. 2-1. Myers in 68 games for Sugarland, hitting .343 with 16 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Outside, 3-1. Maldonado an infield hit. McCormick struck out, and now Myers with a 3-1 count. Maeda's walked 2 today, 1 of them intentional. Missed the slider again. 3-2.
Got one to hit.
Five-year-old Jake Meyers. '13th round pick in a 2017 draft. Steady diet of sliders in this AB.
Yep. Testing the young man. See how he adjusts to some of the off speed here from Maeda. But with all those sliders, TK, you either set him up for a possible chase off the outside corner, or you could rush that fastball and just lock him up. Talked about some of the strikeouts for Maeda being looking, and the looking strikeouts have been on the fastball.
He has seen 5 straight sliders. Gets another one low. Good take by Myers. He'll draw a walk. Astros with 2 runners on and 1 out in the 5th inning, down 4-2.
The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Minute Maid Park. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Nobody's warming in the Twins bullpen, even though Maeda is now over 90 pitches. So this is strictly a little breather mid-inning and a discussion about Aledmys Diaz and maybe giving them time to get somebody to start loosening up in their bullpen. While the mound meeting continues, Juan Minaya has grabbed the baseball and just made his first warm-up toss in the Twins bullpen. So Aledmys Diaz will bat here with first and second, 1 out. Diaz has driven in a run with a bloop single to right. He's also flied out to left. Starts him off with a slider. Foul tip, 0-1. Maeda 45 sliders out of his 92 pitches as Minaya, who closed out the extra inning win for the Twins, begins to warm up. Oh, and 2. I believe that's 8 straight sliders going back to the Jake Myers at bat.
You're right. He's right at using that slider 50% of the time. It's been pretty impressive how consistent he has been at going to that slider. Even some of the mistakes out over the plate, like the last one we just saw to Aledmys Diaz, he's able to get away with them. TK's been talking about the contact against Maeda has been limited as far as exit velocity.
Ground ball towards short. Simmons to Polanco for 1, and the throw will be not able to be handled by Sano, so safe at first will be Diaz. Looked like it was a double play ground ball. Diaz hustling, and that throw not clean to first base.
Yeah, that felt like it was a double play to be turned and get Maeda out of this inning. Hit hard. Wasn't a lot of urgency from Jorge Polanco at second base on this turn. Just kind of casually turned it. Ended up yanking that throw. Fortunately, Sano able to knock it down.
Minaya, who's been warming up, is good against lefties. I thought they may go to Minaya here against Yordan Alvarez, but Rocco Baldelli looks like he's going to stay with Kenta Maeda for one more batter here.
Yeah, I'm just not sure they got him up in time to have him hot, ready to come in.
Yordan doubled off the scoreboard and left his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Takes the splitter away, 1-0.
Pretty good opportunity right here for the Astros, and having Yordan at the plate. 2 runners on. Look for that big swing. Maeda's given up 16 home runs on the season.
Jordan hit a fastball off the left field wall his last time. That ball's roped past Polanco into right field. RBI single by Jordan Alvarez. RBI number 74 on the year. And the Astros back within a run. It's 4-3.
You're actually pretty lucky if you're the Twins that ball stayed in the ballpark. Looked like a hanging split. Jordan wanted to do a little bit more with it. He put a thump behind this one, ripping it past Polanco into right field for that RBI base hit with 2 outs. Could have been more with a little bit more of a launch angle, 110.5 miles an hour.
By far the highest exit velocity today against Maeda. Maeda will get one more hitter, and he'll face Carlos Correa here. He has struck out Correa twice today. Carlos came into this game 2 for 4 against Maeda with a couple of walks, but Maeda has had his number at least in this game.
Yeah, it's been sliders early in the count and fastballs late.
Now he goes the other way and throws a fastball in off the plate, 1-0.
Well, we've seen a couple of mistake sliders in this inning. One to Jake Myers, he missed it. Aledmus Diaz got one, he missed it. Not too sure you're going to be able to press your luck against Carlos Correa if you make a mistake with that slider right now.
Highest pitch count of the season for Maeda with his next pitch, pitch number 98.
There we go, pitching a little bit backwards from the first 2 times, a couple of fastballs.
Chops the fouls, 1-2.
Got the off speed he was looking for.
Diaz on second. Credit him for part of this inning. His hustle forced Polanco to make a little bit of a wide throw. Jordan Alvarez with the RBI single, 74 RBIs on the year for the team leader in that category. And the Astros back within a run. Both teams have scored in each of the last 4 frames. Twins in the 4th and 5th. Astros in the 4th and 5th as well. Correa sharply hit, but gloved by Simmons on the short hop. They get the fielder's choice, getting Alvarez at second base. Astros add a run on 2 hits, 2 men left on base. It's a 4-3 game after 5.
Hughes calls it the 8th wonder of the world, the $31.5 million Astrodome Stadium, having its formal opening. It is colossal and stupendous.
Judge Roy Hoffines was honored this weekend as part of the induction ceremonies yesterday. The new Hall of Fame class. Bowling alley in one of those suites up there at the Astrodome. They had some palatial suites at the top level of the Houston Astrodome. Astronauts throwing out the first pitch. Some of them hit their target. Din Man. Oh, that's cool.
That is very cool. All grows up.
Oh, that is a perfect picture for this weekend. Glad we could have Din Man on our broadcast Friday. Legends of the Game presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Roy Hoffines inducted, rightfully so, into the Astros Hall of Fame. Max Kepler will lead things off. Phil Maton out for his first full inning of work. Picked up a big out to end the 5th, stranding the bases loaded. Andrelton Simmons lining out to left field to end that inning.
It was a good play by Jordan. Had to range a little bit to his left and moving back into that left center field corner.
That ball lined the other way, and Max Kepler has himself 3 hits today. 3 for 4 game for Kepler as he singles into left to start the 6th inning.
So Phil Maton in those 42 games has an ERA of 4.17, but you can see the peripherals, that FIP, fielding independent pitching at 3.18, gives you the idea that he has pitched into a little bit of bad luck this season, which puts that ERA almost a full point ahead of his FIP number.
Now facing Brent Rooker. Picks up a called strike. Rooker 0 for 3 today. 26-year-old rookie starting every game in this series. The last two was the DH after starting in the left on Thursday and Friday night. Yeah, the number that jumped out to me on Maton was looking up Max Scherzer numbers when he was traded to the Dodgers. Scherzer has the highest whip percentage on the fastball of anybody in the National League. At least of starters. Maton has the highest whip percentage of anybody. He is at 37.8% whip percentage on his fastball. Wow. You've got Josh Hader right behind him. Aroldis Chapman, who just went on the IL, just behind him as well. Then Scherzer. Phil Maton, highest whip percentage of any pitcher with a minimum of 400 fastballs thrown, with his whip percentage of 37.8%.
That's impressive. And we've been marveling at his curveball.
Well, the thing that's impressive about it is, as opposed to Hader, as opposed to Chapman, it's not a high velocity fastball. But going back to what Roy Oswalt was telling us last night when he joined us in the booth, spin it to win it.
Yeah.
You get good carry on that fastball. It doesn't matter what the velocity is, as long as the perceived velocity is greater than what it actually is. Counts 2-2.
That was interesting to hear Roy talking about that. They have caught in that up and away corner just a little bit. This fastball spins in the top 10% of the league.
He's aware of it too. When they had the Players Weekend, he wore spin rate as his nickname.
How about it? Modern day ball player.
Counts 3-2 on Rooker. Kepler on first base, nobody out in the 6th inning. Breaking ball hooked into the crowd. A lot of base runners today for Minnesota. Going through the lineup for the 4th time already. We're in the 6th inning. Twins have left 8 on through the first 5 and scored 4 runs on 9 hits. It'll be interesting to see how the Astros navigate these final 4 innings. They have used up 3 of their back into the bullpen arms the last 2 days. Ryan Stanek, Kendall Graveman, and Ryan Presley all pitching Friday and Saturday nights. The Astros have tended to stay away from relief pitchers for a 3rd straight day all year. No swing and a 3-2 pitch just up. That'll be a walk. Issue to Rooker, putting runners on 1st and 2nd. Top 3 guys on that list both pitched Friday and Saturday. Maton's in the game now. Christian Javier threw a lot of pitches in that game on Thursday. 45 of them. Amy Garcia would be available. Blake Taylor. Brooks Raley is not on that list. Raley is serving the second game of a 2-game suspension. He was suspended for 3 games initially. And then that suspension was reduced down to 2 games after hitting a batter in that series against the Mariners.
Still makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense because the umpires admitted afterwards that they didn't think he was throwing at J.P. Crawford. And if they don't think he was throwing at them, why did he get suspended?
Yeah. I don't know.
But Raley will be unavailable today and was unavailable yesterday.
You should do a better job of explaining why a guy can't get playing time or a paycheck. Probably had to pay a fine on top of that.
Dusty
Ridiculous.
did. Dusty had to serve a game. Ground ball foul, 1-1. Didn't seem right, but that's what the Astros have had to deal with. Maton's faced Polanco a few times, as you might imagine, with Maton being with Cleveland. Polanco in 6 at-bats against Maton. Coming into this series, had 3 hits. Maton was able to get him swinging, striking him out in the 10th inning of the game on Friday. Now gets ahead 1-2. Just a piece to stay alive on a breaking ball that probably would have caught the outside corner. Twins concluding their longest road trip of the season, a 9-game road trip. Started in St. Louis, moved on to Cincinnati as Polanco hits a high drive deep to right field, and that ball will be about 12 rows deep. 3-run home run by Jorge Polanco, his second home run of the game, as he is now driven in 4 today with 2 home runs, and the Twins extend this lead to 7-3. Kept going to the curveball against Polanco, and he found one that he liked.
Yeah, may have left this one up just a little bit. Didn't quite get the crispness on that break, and it stayed up, and Polanco made him pay.
Mitch Garver will bat. Garver takes a called strike. Mitch 0 for 3 today as Polanco continues to be one of the best power hitters in baseball over the last month. That's now 11 home runs since the 4th of July. Maton ahead 0-2. There has been a 0 on the board since the 3rd inning. Twins have scored in 3 innings in a row. Astros have scored the last 2 innings. The 5th home run allowed by Maton this year in 45 2/3 innings. Blake Taylor begins to loosen up. Icon comes back after the home run to strike out Garver, picking up the first out of the 6th inning. Taylor just got up. Looks like he's going to come into the game. Lefty Luis Arraez is due up. So Dusty Baker out of the dugout. He'll bring in the lefty Blake Taylor here with the Astros trailing 7-3. Join the Astros on September 9th at 5:30 as Lyle Lovett and his large band take center stage for the 6th annual Diamond Dreams Gala presented by Chevron. Tickets for the concert are now on sale, and proceeds benefit the Astros Foundation and New Hope Housing. Visit astros.com/gala to get your tickets today. Blake Taylor on for the Astros.
Left-hander Blake Taylor making his 32nd appearance. 29 strikeouts in those 31 appearances. Done a good job against lefties this season with that fastball. Struck out Max Muncy in LA during a very good at bat. Gives up a base hit on the first pitch he throws.
It's a little dribbler through the middle. Luis Arraez, who we said just puts the ball in play, doesn't hit it hard, but he finds the right spot there in between second and short. The Twins keep hitting. Arraez with a 1-out base hit will bring up Miguel Sano. That's 11 hits for the Twins. We're in the 6th inning. Sano a home run in 3 at bats, hit a 2-run home run. Struck out a couple of times against the Lance McCullers. Twins have had 4 base runners on in each of the last 3 innings. Sano batting for the 3rd time in as many innings. Arraez has been on base 3 straight innings. And he hits this ball over the head of Carlos Correa. Sano with a base hit. That's a dozen hits for Minnesota. They are finishing off their longest road trip of the season with a bang offensively.
Hard hit, soft hit, long ball, short ball. Everything they're going out there and swinging at ends up being a hit. Sano just muscling that one into left field.
Two on, and we'll get a pinch hitter for Jake Cave. Cave, a triple, also was hit by a pitch. He went 1 for 2. Rob Refsnyder started the first 2 games of this series. We'll get a pinch hit appearance here for Jake Cave. He'll take over in center field, I would imagine. Refsnyder went 1 for 4 on Friday night. Had a couple of hits and a couple of walks on Thursday. 3 for 7 with 2 walks in this series. Refsnyder takes one down and in for ball 1. Yankee for 3 years, part of a season with Toronto. Also has played with Tampa Bay and Texas before landing in Minnesota this year. Taylor beats him with a fastball. It's 1-1. Blake with that big strikeout against Muncy that Blummer was talking about. Grew up an Angels fan, so he has always cheered against the Dodgers growing up. So this is that was kind of a bigger moment for him. It was a big moment anyhow, but you add on the layer that he was not a fan of the Dodgers growing up, and it adds to that moment for him. Maybe the biggest strikeout to this point of his career. One and 2 the count. Phil Maton started this inning after getting the last out of the 5th. Maton allowing a 3-run home run to Jorge Polanco. Struck out Garver, then Blake Taylor came on. He's allowed back-to-back hits, but now a full count on Refsnyder. Just missed down and in, ball 4. That'll load up the bases. 6 of the 7 hitters in this inning have reached for the Twins. Basically loaded for Trevor Larnach, who hasn't been retired today. A couple of hits and a walk. Dusty knows his bullpen options are limited even with the off day tomorrow. He does not want to have to keep getting guys warmed up here. We're only in the 6th inning.
Yeah, this is tough. Yes, you're giving up some big hits, but you've also given up some questionable hits with low exit velocities, the walks. Taylor struggling with command coming into this game quickly. Just looking for somebody to stop the bleeding, get back in that dugout.
I'm guessing Yimi Garcia, Rafael Montero, and Christian Javier are in play today, but especially coming off the heavy workload for Javier, I'm not 100% sure if he's available.
Yeah, that's the one I'm a little bit worried about. You may want to give him an extra day or two with that day off tomorrow so you can use him the way you want to, which seems to be in multiple innings.
But you still need to cover 3 more innings plus this inning today.
Montero can give you multiple. He looked good the last time out when he did go multiple innings, I believe.
So you need Blake to get through this inning is basically what I'm getting down to.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, we try to skirt around it a little bit, but I think that it is paramount that Blake Taylor's able to work through this inning with 1 out and the bases loaded, and there's nobody up in that bullpen.
Larnach with a count of 1-2. A couple of hits the other way and also a walk. He was the last batter McCullers would face. That pitch is just off the edge, 2-2. Rise singled on a little ground ball up the middle. Sano flared one over the head of Carlos Correa. Refsnyder drew a pinch hit walk. Now 2-2 count to Larnach with still 1 out in the inning. Got that call on the edge. Larnach out on strikes. Taylor picks up his first strikeout, 2 away in the inning.
Thank you very much. Larnach with a couple of parting comments as you see that last pitch on our MD Anderson strike zone just off that outside corner. Maldonado massaging that call for Blake Taylor. Big strikeout with the bases loaded.
Guess who's here? Yes, he's back.
Bragy's back.
Alex Bregman in the house.
Positive sign.
Chile was tracking that. Alex Bregman hanging out, watching a little Sunday afternoon baseball, hoping for his guys to rally here, down 7-3. First things first, Taylor has to get through this inning facing Simmons. Even though Simmons doesn't have the highest batting average in this roster, he generally battles you up there. 0 for 3 today. And takes a strike, 1-1. Twins batting around in this inning, sending their 9th man to the plate. We've seen a lot of pitches here in the 6th inning as Minaya has been loose for about 10 or 15 minutes. This has been a 22-minute, 45-second inning. Time of possession early was way in the Astros' favor, but that has flipped in this inning.
Second half adjustments.
Off the plate in, 3-1. Simmons is not going to give you any free strikes there. You've got to come in with something here. Taylor does on a 3-1 fastball for a strike. Fans here on this Sunday afternoon know there's a pretty large pitch. In the 6th inning, the Astros down 4. Pop-up, playable. Taylor Jones right near the foul line, puts it away for the final out of the inning. Twins will strand 3, but they also score 3 to take a 7-3 lead.
Get Out and Play is presented by Toyota. Some incredible finishes, Hall of Fame finishes in 1986. Mike Scott and his no-hitter to win the West. Jeff Kent in 2004, walking off St. Louis. In 2005, Chris Burke, after that 18-inning marathon, puts it into the Crawford boxes to walk off the Atlanta Braves. Some high-quality celebratory moments for the Houston Astros as Minaya comes into this game and rifles one to the backstop.
First pitch takes the legs out from under Kyle Tucker on that fastball to the backstop. Juan Minaya takes over for Kenta Maeda. Saw Minaya pitch in extra innings in Friday's game.
Saw that pitch at 95. That's what he averages on that fastball. Also has a changeup and a slider. Really likes that changeup. So far, a couple of fastballs.
Rob Refsnyder stays in the game. He's in center field. Minaya pitched an inning and a third in that outing on Friday. Didn't allow a hit or a walk. The only batter that reached was Maldonado on an error. He was able to get Jose Altuve to close the game out when Altuve tried to bunt to tie the game, and Miguel Sano made a great play at third base. There you see the numbers on the former White Sox reliever, who's now in the Twins bullpen. Minaya was with the Twins last year but didn't pitch in any games. Spent most of the season at the alternate training site. Tucker fouls off the fastball and it counts 2-2. Almost a guarantee change up here, right?
It's got to be going way against his tendencies, isn't he?
Maybe he doesn't love the changeup today. That's a lot of fastballs early. It's 3-2. Another fastball from Minaya. Tucker was intentionally walked, also retired on a nice play by Luis Arraez. Maeda 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs allowed today. He walked 3, including the intentional walk to Tucker, and struck out 5. Astros down 4. They have scored the last 2 innings. Called third strike, dotted him up on a fastball on the outside edge. It's been a wide strike zone for both sides, and Tucker goes down looking for the first out.
And we We've seen it to hitters on both sides where that outside edge expanding a little bit.
Taylor Jones will bat. Jones 3 RBIs in this series. 2-run home run and an infield hit his last time up. Ground ball right side, and that'll go past Polanco into center field. Well, Taylor Jones a 2 for 3 day with a single. He's a 1-out base runner.
86, 2004, and 2005. How did they get there? They did it by playing extremely good down the stretch. These teams were right around 500, maybe a little bit ahead of it like they were in 86, but they continued to go out there and play well. 2004 going 36 and 10 in their last 46 games, and 2005 was the notorious Tombstone year. And the Houston Chronicle wrote them off, and they came back to become National League champs.
Here's Jacob Wilson getting his 3rd at bat as an Astro. He is 1 for 9 in his big league career. Takes a pitch for a ball. All those seasons, the Astros were right around 500 or below 500 when those finishing marks started. That one catches the corner on the outside edge, 1-1.
Wow. Not a hitter zone, TK.
Now it's definitely a pitcher-friendly zone today. Ground ball slowly hit up the middle. Simmons will flip it to Polanco and turns it in time for the double play. And that'll do it for the Astros in the 6th. Jacob Wilson hits into a double play.
Our best in Texas power pitcher is driven by Ford. Let's look at J.R. Richard and all of his greatness. We've been talking about him all weekend. We lost him before the weekend, thinking about him and his family. Just remembering these incredible seasons and what he did in those seasons that he had in that Astros uniform like this. He was, one of 4 right-handers that had at least 2 seasons with 300 or more strikeouts. That's since 1920. Did it in 1978 and again in 1979. His final season in 1980 with the Astros was pretty good too. He was on his way, but that's of course when it was cut short, suffering the stroke that year. Only 4 to do that. Nolan Ryan had 6 of those. Pretty crazy. We'll have more on that, but sharing some tweets from Dinman, who I had a great opportunity to talk to about his grandfather, Judge Roy Hofheinz, a couple of days ago. Love these pictures he's pulled out, guys. Check these out. That's a good one too with Nolan and JR. And this is what I was talking about, the 4 that have done it. Kurt Schilling, Pedro Martinez also on there, but yeah, Nolan Ryan was 6 seasons.
That's all?
It's like laugh out loud stuff. He did what?
Yeah, he said that's cute.
Pretty good group right there.
Doubling up the next closest in Kurt Schilling with 3 seasons.
New pitcher for the Astros as we head to the 7th inning. Max Kepler batting for the 5th time. He'll face Rafael Montero.
We talked about Montero possibly having a couple of innings here. 2 outings ago for the Astros against the Dodgers. He went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, a walk, and had a strikeout through 31 pitches in doing so. But in the last 8 outings between Seattle and the Houston Astros for Montero, 5 of those have been multi-inning outings.
Gets a ground ball here to Aledmys Diaz and picks up an out on Max Kepler. That hasn't been an easy thing to do today. Kepler 3 for 5 now.
Numbers on the season for Montero. It's going to be around the zone. Only 16 walks in those 43 appearances. Now in 48 innings.
Here's Brent Rooker 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Astros going to their 4th pitcher of the day. 4 runs allowed in 4 2/3 innings by McCullers, and 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning charged to Phil Maton. Blake Taylor worked around a bases loaded situation, getting a strikeout and a pop-up to end his 2/3 of an inning. And now Montero on in the 7th ahead of Rooker 0-2. When you played, did you ever have a glove that was tailored to the colors of your team?
No. Well, you know what? Last couple of years in Arizona, I did have a couple that had some of that, that Sedona red in it.
How about that? Montero coming out, picking up a ground ball and a 3-pitch strikeout of Brent Rooker. The reason I ask, it's probably tough for Montero to go to a new glove now because he obviously has the Mariner colors there and he likes that glove.
And it's broken in.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Some of these big league gloves, they take a while to break in. But yeah, it's a beautiful glove. It just doesn't match. But if you're comfortable with it, you're going to continue to go with it. But I had those gloves made for when I played in Arizona, but I have like 3 of them in my garage because I never used them. I kept going back to Old Faithful.
Really?
Yeah, I just couldn't take her off my hands. Well,
hence the reason Montero's sticking with what he's got.
Yeah, that could be it.
Here's Jorge Polanco. He has been the difference in this game with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in. His last 2 times up, he has hit a home run, and Montero has quickly gotten ahead 0-2.
Yeah, I have a great Gary Reedus story about breaking in the glove in spring training for me that we can hold on to.
Okay.
If necessary, which it may be.
It may be. And would pop foul out of play. Montero coming out throwing strikes today, 7 of 8 strikes. You can see his numbers on the year, and they are certainly different from our analytic numbers.
That's a pretty big difference.
Been good since joining the Astros. Missed the outside edge, 1-2. Polanco now with 20 home runs on the year, 61 runs batted in. 6 home runs in his last 12 games. Nice inning by Rafael Montero. 1-2-3 inning with a ground ball. Couple of strikeouts. That last one on a riding fastball to get the dangerous Jorge Polanco. 7th inning stretch time at Minute Maid Park. Astros trail the Twins 7-3. We'll keep it right here and join Bob Ford.
Please rise now and join us as we pause to honor our great nation as we welcome in the Center for the Performing Arts Medicine at Houston Methodist for the singing of God Bless America.
The Astros and MLB have partnered with Houston Methodist to bring you Vaccinate at the Plate. Come to the ballpark this Tuesday from 5 to 8 p.m. to get a walk-up first or second dose Pfizer vaccine. As a benefit, you will receive 2 tickets to a select Astros game. For details, visit astros.com/vaccine. TK.
Julie, we had a Breggy sighting earlier.
He's here. Do you want to rap again, or you guys retire from that, or what?
You okay down there?
No,
Julia?
y'all were the ones trying to rap like Eminem earlier.
Oh, Breggy's back.
Yeah,
I know you were on Breggy Watch.
I was, and I see him.
Do you have any sauce in that dugout?
No,
Okay.
I'm sure he has plenty in the clubhouse.
Get us some.
Oh yeah, I'm still working on that. But he just got here.
Well, that's true. Gotta let him breathe
Hopefully
a little bit.
hopefully next series. But seriously, nice work on the rap, the duet.
I'm just not feeling the passion from you right now on that, Julia.
I mean, you could use a little work, but
Astros need some base runners and need some runs, down 4 as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. There's Alex playing in Sugar Land and more recently in Round Rock, where Sugar Land's got a 6-game road series going. I think they had 3 6-game series in Round Rock this year. Maybe 4. Maybe 4. They had a lot. Maldonado takes one outside, even though it's no longer their AAA affiliate. It almost feels like they're home away from home this year. New pitcher, guy who feels at home here in Houston. Tyler Duffy taking over for the Twins in the 7th inning.
He spent a large portion of his life here. And he's pitched in 2 games. This will be the 3rd game in this 4-game series that we've seen Tyler Duffy. He's pitched 2 innings total, given up 2 hits and has 4 strikeouts.
Former teammate of Anthony Rendon and others at Rice University. Duffy will face Maldonado in the top of the order. Maldonado tries to hold up on a 2-2 pitch and does. The count goes full. Danny Coulomb begins the inning warming up, which means Duffy probably has the first 4 batters all righties, and then when Yordan Alvarez's turn comes up, if it's still going on, Coulomb will come into the game as Maldonado draws a walk on a 3-2 pitch. Maldi's reached twice in a row after an infield hit his last time up. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam Hall of Fame weekend. Here are the new inductees in Hall of Fame Alley. The Bull, Bob Watson, Cesar Cedeno, Roy Oswalt. So Billy Wagner, Judge Roy Hoffines. There's Billy Wags next to Shane Reynolds. Cesar Cedeno, inducted this year. Lance Berkman. 6 inductees to join the initial class. As Chaz McCormick takes a strike. Chaz had a hit his first time up. He has struck out a couple of times since. There's a strike, 0-2. Seattle won today. They shut out the Yankees 2-0. Toronto and Boston are in a wild one. Blue Jays had a big lead 7-2, but Toronto's come all the way back to take a 9-8 lead.
Wow.
Ground ball towards short. Simmons Polanco won, and the turn for a double play. Second straight inning for a 6-4-3 double play for the Twins. 2 outs, bases cleared. Yeah, earlier in this game when Aledmus Diaz drove in the first run back in the first inning, it was the Astros' 600th run of the season. They were the first major league team to get to 400 runs, first big league team to get to 500 runs, and today, first major league team to get to 600 runs. But the team that's been closing on them the fastest in the major leagues has been Toronto lately. Toronto has been scoring runs by the bunches, including 9 more today.
How happy is that ball club to be back north of the border playing in Toronto? They flipped the switch as soon as they got back in front of their hometown fans.
They have won 10 out of 12. They have moved closer to the Boston Red Sox and Oakland A's for that second wild card spot. And you're right, ever since they came back to Toronto, they have been rolling.
And they picked up a big piece from the Minnesota Twins in Barrios in that starting rotation too. But that offense, it's going to be tough to hold down.
Jake Myers took a walk his last time up. Jake batting for the third time. He came on as a pinch hitter for the DH Michael Brantley. Brantley took a hard hit from Andrelton Simmons in a play at second base. Stayed in the game to finish off that inning, but Myers pinch hit for him in the third, struck out in that at bat, and walked his last time up. Down 1-2 here. Hits that ball hard into right center field. Jake Myers has his first major league hit. One hops against the fence. Congratulations, Jake Myers. A 2-out double the other way.
It's got to feel great for Jake Myers getting that first big league hit. It's also the first game where he's seen multiple at bats. He got to a fastball up in the zone from Tyler Duffy. And there it is. First career big league hit for Jake Myers. Welcome to the club, young man.
I like the fact that a lot of fans were standing, realizing the impact of a first big league hit. Jake out of University of Nebraska, getting his first taste in the major leagues. His father was a minor leaguer, fell just short of the major leagues, got to AAA in the Giants organization. And now the Myers family has a big league hit. Here's Aledmys Diaz. Aledmys takes a strike on the inside corner. Aledmys knocked in the first run. He's 1 for 3. There is the lefty Coulombe. This will be the last batter for Duffy either way. Diaz shoots one to right field. That'll be all the way to the wall and off the top of the wall. In to score Myers, to second Aledmys, sliding with an RBI double. It's now a 7-4 game. 2 RBI game for Aledmys Diaz. He didn't miss a home run by much.
No, he really didn't. It might have been by inches. Stayed on that slider away and smoked it. It's not too often we see Aledmys Diaz going the other way, but he picked a good pitch to do it on, and this will give you an idea of how close it actually was. Hitting just below that yellow line in right field. Jake Myers getting his first hit, first run scored on that rocket to right field off the bat of Aledmys.
So the Astros back within 3. Yordan Alvarez due up, and a new pitcher, the lefty Danny Coulombe, as Myers excited in the dugout.
Astros threatening again. 7-4 is the score currently, with Danny Coulombe coming into this game. Seeing 15 games this season, that sub-3 ERA. 4 home runs allowed, 3 of them to lefties. One of them came on Thursday night off the bat of this guy at the plate right here.
Hey, Yordan facing Coulombe for a third time in this series. He's 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in, as he takes one outside for ball 1.
This is that big swing off of Coulombe for Yordan Alvarez. Got some off speed that backed up, down and in, and he absolutely unloaded, putting it halfway up that second deck in right field.
That call and a pitch on the outside edge of the knees. It's 1-1.
Well, if anything, Vic Carapaz has been consistent.
He's got a big plate. That one down, 2-1. Paza married into an umpire family. He is the son-in-law of Richie Garcia, married Richie's daughter. 2-1 the count to Yordan Alvarez. Astros scoring 3 runs in the last 4 innings, a run in the 4th, a run in the 5th, a run in the 7th. Yordan looking for something he can drive here with his team down 3 and a runner on second in the 7th. Doesn't get a pitch to drive, sees one way up, 3-1. Slider over and the count goes full.
Yeah, not a very big slider, just a little bit of a wrinkle to it.
Ledmus Diaz with an RBI doubles on second base. Yordan Alvarez hits with a 3-2 count. Yordan drove in a run last time, up with a single to right. Got in there, and Yordan just stayed alive on a foul ball.
Good old emergency hack. I wasn't anticipating 90 up in the hands.
Rocco Baldelli figuring if he plays the matchup, eventually he's going to win. Yordan has won the first 2 against Coulomb. Driven in 5 runs already in this series. Ground ball, glove by Sano. He will take it himself for the final out of the inning. So the Astros add a run. They head to the 8th, down 7-4.
Game summary is driven by the DeMontron Auto Group, and it's been a story of Sano in this series. Doing it defensively after switching from first base to third base and then back at first base, making a good transition to Andrelton Simmons, getting a big double play on Jason Castro, showing the range, moving to the right, coming back with the flip, helping out his bullpen. And of course today, that big swing on a slider from Lance McCullers, depositing it 407 feet away. We've seen the versatility and power of Sano in this series.
Rafael Montero begins the 8th inning with a strike. Montero's done a nice job since coming on. He got a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th with a couple of strikeouts. He'll face Mitch Garver, the number 4 hitter in the Twins lineup. Garver 1 for 14 in this series. His lone hit, a home run, came against Zach Greinke. 0 for 4 today. Astros down 3, have a couple of innings worth of at-bats to work with. Montero trying to keep the game right where it is. This ball hit in the air to left field. Yordan Alvarez doesn't have to move very far and puts it away for out number 1. Yordan playing left field in 3 of the 4 games in this series. Also started both games in Dodger Stadium in left field. He's getting a lot more reps out there than we would have imagined earlier in the season. Here's Luis Arraez. A 3-run home run allowed by Phil Maton back in the 6th inning. Moved a 4-3 lead to a 7-3 lead for the Twins. It was also unusual in the fact that this bullpen has been so good in the month of August, coming in just 1 earned run over 21 innings in August. The Twins batting around in the 6th inning against the combination of Maton and Taylor. 3 runs charged to Maton. As Arraez goes down on that swing, it's 1-1. Arraez had to leave a game the other day when he went down after a swing, but this one not quite as severe. But he's been battling a knee issue, but at the plate, a couple of hits and a walk. He's been on base 3 or 4 times today. 1-2 the count. All right, we've got Montero still on the mound, second inning. Gary Rita's spring training story.
Yeah, it was 2010, and we were in spring training, and I anticipated to be third baseman utility for the Houston Astros again. And ground ball to second base that Diaz will throw out Arraez, and Lance Berkman goes down with a little bit of like a meniscus tear or knee issue, has to have knee surgery. He's not going to make it back in time for opening day. And I get the red alert, hey, you're going to be our first baseman. And I went, what? That was the one glove I did not break in because Lance had been playing over there so often and he never missed a game. So I was like, you know, I call Rawlings. I'm like, hey, I desperately need a first baseman's glove. Don't worry about putting my name on it, anything. Just send me a glove. And the heart of the hide gloves are really tough to break in. And I was panicking. I'm in the cage. I'm taking, you know, Iron Mike. I'm just squatted down like a catcher, just trying to pop, trying to break this thing in. And Gary Rita's catches wind of this and comes over and he goes, give it to me. I said, do your magic, Gary, because pick me up. And he takes it, leaves for about 15 minutes and comes back, and this thing, it's warm, and he puts it on my hand and it feels glorious. It is, I mean, literally like melted butter in my hand. I'm like, okay, give me the breakdown. What happened? And there's a Vaseline-like substance down in the clubhouse called, I think it's called Abilene or something like that. And it started with an A, but he basically said he dunked it in that thing and just lubed that thing up with all of this like jelly, you know, petroleum jelly. And I'm like, okay, great. Then what? He took it to the industrial dryers that they have at the stadiums and he threw it in there on high for 10 minutes. After that 10 minutes, he took it out and took the barrel of a bat and just slammed it into the pocket of the glove, maybe about 10-15 times, just wham, 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 and brought it to me. And he goes, now put your hand in it real quick. And with it warm, it kind of molded around my hand, and it was good to go from there on out. And I mean, 2 days before opening day, here I am with Gary Ritas, and he, you know, lubed up, warmed up on my hand, and I'm using it opening day 2 days later right here at Minute Maid Park.
Instant broken in glove.
Unbelievable. And
go.
I did that for several other gloves that I had throughout the rest of my career. Granted, it was, you know, a couple of years after that I retired, but I wish I would have known about that, you know, 10 years previous.
The tricks you learn.
Yeah, it's amazing.
3-2 the count to Sano. Montero has retired all 5 batters he has faced and tries to get Sano to swing, and he does not on a 3-2 slider. That's the first batter to reach against Montero, who's been very good today. Normally that's a pitch Sano will swing at, and Montero probably thought the same thing. So instead, he'll face Rob Refsnyder with a runner on first base and 2 outs. Refsnyder walked as a pinch hitter. There's a strike. Uh-oh. Maldi calling out for the trainer.
Yeah, he reached down awkwardly after that walk to Sano.
Not good.
Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable and not good at all.
Montero's been doing a nice job since joining the Astros, and you hate to see that. Here's a guy who's getting a second chance this year after struggling with Seattle. A big grimace on his face after that last pitch. Concerned people out there. Jeremiah Randall, Brent Strom, and Dusty Baker. And Montero, unfortunately, is going to have to leave this game. Montero had retired all 5 batters before that walk to Sano. He's gone 5 innings of perfect baseball for the Astros without allowing a run, and now he will leave with an apparent injury. So we'll have a pitching change, and the new pitcher will have as much time as he wants to warm up. I imagine it might be, well, it's either going to be Yimi Garcia or Christian Javier. I think it will be Garcia, and it is. Well, Yimi Garcia will have as much time as he wants to warm up as he comes into this game in the 8th inning with the Astros down 7-4. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Houston Astros and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Houston Astros. Twins lead 7-4, batting in the 8th inning. Astros having to go to a new pitcher. Rafael Montero had to leave the game. What'd you see, Blummer?
Well, just this is that last pitch to Sano where he walked him. A little bit of a grimace. And as he's walking back to the mound, kind of evaluating the situation, as he gets to the back of the mound, you can kind of see him raise that right arm. Kind of gives that indication that something ain't right. Tried to throw one more pitch and it didn't go well, and he's out of the game now.
That's unfortunate. He had been pitching well since coming over from the Mariners.
I agree. Very unfortunate. He was looking good in that Astro uniform, and the numbers proved it.
He's gone 5 innings of 2-hit baseball without allowing a run in his time with the Astros. Yimi Garcia has also done a nice job since joining Houston, coming over from the Miami Marlins. And he will take over here, getting as much time as he needs to warm up.
And he's thrown in 2 1/3 innings for the Astros. He's given up 1 run on 1 hit, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts in his time with the Houston Astros. On the season, has 42 appearances, 3.49 ERA.
Well, Blummer, this is the wrap-up to Hall of Fame weekend here at Minute Maid Park. 6 new inductees. The class of 2020, led by the gentleman who brought baseball to Houston, Judge Roy Hoffines. Bob Watson, player and general manager of the Houston Astros. Cesar Cedeno, outstanding center fielder in Astros history. Billy Wagner, most saves in Astros history. Lance Berkman, owns pretty much every mark at Minute Maid Park. And Roy Oswalt. Here's some of the highlights from the weekend. It was a great weekend.
It was a very good weekend. It was a lot of fun to see generations represented, the previous inductees out there to enjoy the ceremony and recognize others getting those orange jackets. Well deserved. A lot of great stories for each guy that was inducted into that Astros Hall of Fame too.
And we were lucky enough to have a few of those guys up in the broadcast booth. Julia caught up with some of the families in the suites over the weekend. The latest inductees into the Hall of Fame. Roy Oswalt had 5 years out of 6 where he was in the top 5 in Cy Young voting. He burst onto the scene and had great success.
There's those numbers on the season for Yimi Garcia between Miami and Houston. This will be his 4th outing with the Houston Astros. 38 strikeouts in those 42 games. Fastball, changeup, cut fastball, and a slider. He throws hard, averaging close to 96 miles an hour. Cutter right around 90, 92.
So here we go. Sano on first. Ref Snyder, the batter, with an 0-1 count. And picks up a strike at the bottom of the zone. Yimi Garcia acquired from the Marlins for Brian De La Cruz and also Austin Pruitt going over to Miami. De La Cruz getting a chance to play pretty much every day for Miami, which are not appearing in any major league games with the Astros. So a couple of outfielders who spent most of their summer in Sugar Land. Jake Myers and Brian De La Cruz, now major leaguers. Myers with his first major league hit earlier in this game. Outside, 2-2. number 7 spot in the Twins lineup, batting for the 5th time. Jake Cave started in that 7th spot, had a triple, lined out, and also was hit by a pitch. Refsnyder walked as a pinch hitter. Now takes that one outside. It's 3-2. Twins have stranded 11 runners in this game and lead 7-4. Called third strike, got him on the outside corner. Refsnyder called out on a slider away. Garcia picks up a strikeout of the first batter he faces, and we head to the bottom of the 8th. Astros will have Carlos Correa, Kyle Tucker due up, down 7-4.
Bottom of the 8th inning we go. The Twins are up 7-4 over the Houston Astros. And we have got some league leaders brought to you by Houston Methodist. Visual of Lance Berkman, because we're looking at single season RBI numbers for the Astros all time. And in 2006, Lance Berkman set that record, beating out Jeff Bagwell by 1, driving in 136 in 06. Then it's the Baggy show before you see Lance Berkman pop up there a couple of more times. And Moises Alou, we were talking about him earlier, 1998, had 124 RBIs for the Houston Astros.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Astros down 3. Carlos Correa, Kyle Tucker, and Taylor Jones due up, facing Jorge Alcala.
.44 games this season for the hard-throwing right-hander, ex-Astro farmhand. 5.02 ERA, but he can get it up above 100 miles an hour.
Correa batting for the 4th time, looking for his first hit. Alcala pitched in both Thursday and Friday's games, so like Danny Coulombe and Tyler Duffy, appearing for the 3rd time in this series. Alcala said it's been fun to be part of this series, pitching against his former organization, involved in the Ryan Presley deal. Correa chops the foul. It's 1-2. Alcala pitched an inning, getting Tucker, Diaz, and McCormick in order, with a strikeout of Tucker and McCormick in the game Friday. Also pitched an inning on Thursday, striking out Robel Garcia and Jason Castro, and getting Altuve for the final out. But Correa drives one deep to left. Line drive, home run, Carlos Correa. Home run number 18 on the year. Astros within 2. It's 7-5.
Man, that thing was shot out of a cannon. It was a 19.5-degree launch angle. That was a laser. It's got to feel good for Carlos. Trying to get in underneath the hands, and Carlos drops the barrel on it. And leaves no doubt about it, 106.8 miles an hour off the bat. Wow. Get this crowd going here real quick.
When you have a game that is stretched out time-wise, sometimes you lose track of just how close it is, because it feels like the Twins are in command of this game. It's a 2-run game right now.
No, you are absolutely correct. Rope-a-dope.
Right.
Kind of lulled us to sleep.
Astros have scored in 4 of the last 5 innings and have crept within 2. They got a 2-out double by Aledmys Diaz last inning, and now a home run to start this inning. Kyle Tucker bats against his former minor league teammate. Tucker and Alcala spent some time together at Bowie's Creek in the 2017 season. Counts 1-1. Tuck 0 for 2 with an intentional walk today. Fouls that one away. It's 1-2.
I think that was a changeup that Carlos hit out. Alcala averaging 90 miles an hour on that changeup this season, just overthrew it and it stayed on that inner third, and Carlos unloaded. But you're right. Just a base runner and a long drive from tying this thing up. Hundo.
He hit a hundo again. Yep. He got up to 101.
Yeah, saw that. That's pretty impressive.
And he was asked after the game on, I think it was after the game Thursday, whether he was a little amped up facing his former organization. He had a big smile and talked about how he has played a lot of baseball with these guys through the years. He mentioned Tucker as a former teammate, the guy on deck, Taylor Jones, a former teammate, Framber Valdez, Christian Javier. As he gets Tucker here, it's a slider down and in underneath the bat of Tucker. Picking up a strikeout for the first out of the 8th inning.
Bounces back after that home run to get the strikeout of Kyle Tucker. I don't care how old you are or how you left your former team. If you have a chance to play them again, you always kind of ramp things up and try and remind them of what they're missing out on.
Here is another one of his former teammates, Taylor Jones, played together at Bowie's Creek with Tucker and also Tri-City, and dots him up on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Alcala averages the most out of that bullpen for the Minnesota Twins with his fastball at 97.5 miles an hour.
I feel like it's been around 99 this series.
Yeah, it's been jumping out of his hand. Now he's pitching with a little authority after giving up that home run to Carlos Correa.
We mentioned it last night with the trade of Hansel Robles and Taylor Rogers being on the IL. They've got some spots late in the game. And I like Alcala is moving deeper and deeper into these higher leverage spots. Try to get Jones there on the slider away. That's just turbo slider at 93.
Yep. Now, we talked about some of the rookies in this lineup for the Minnesota Twins being able to come up here and grind away and learn how to play at this level. It's the same way for guys coming out of the bullpen. These are real opportunities for some of these young players and pitchers. As Alcala is consistently at a hundo.
Yeah, I'm surprised looking at his numbers that he hasn't struck out at least 1 per inning this year.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Could explain maybe the fastball, even at 100, is flat, doesn't have much movement to it, or the hitters are picking it up.
In this series, he has 5 strikeouts of the 8 batters he's faced.
Yeah, but some of that secondary stuff looks pretty wicked.
Jones stays alive at 100-mile-an-hour fastball at the bottom of the zone.
That's the other thing. The fastball's been located at the bottom of the zone. Pretty good pitches.
Fans reacting to the guy who just stepped on deck. There he is. Jose Altuve has grabbed the bat. The pinch hit for Jacob Wilson.
Can't keep Altuve out of a whole game, can you?
That one popped in the air. Shortstop Angelton Simmons puts it away. That's the second out. When Altuve's announced, there will be a huge ovation. Not a lot of pinch hits in his career, only 8 at bats. Day off tomorrow, but Altuve getting a chance to get in today with the Astros down 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Altuve reaches. Jason Castro will get a chance to pinch hit. He's on deck to hit for Martin Maldonado. Altuve takes a slider for a strike. Altuve hit against Alcala on Thursday, flied out to center field. There's always respect from the opposing pitcher facing Jose Altuve, but I would think with a guy who was in the Astros minor league system for a few years, that level of respect is a little steeper facing Altuve. It's not offered at the first 3 pitches. And takes one upstairs, 3-1. Astros a pitch away from bringing the tying run to the plate. Catches the top of the zone, 3-2. Altuve pinch hitting for Jacob Wilson, who goes 0 for 3 in his Astros debut. Low ball 4, missed with 99. Astros will bring the tying run to the plate. Jason Castro will pinch hit for Martin Maldonado. Altuve does his job getting on base. Castro is a pinch hitter this year, 3 for 11 with 4 walks.
Pretty big opportunity right here for Jason Castro. Those are good numbers on the season for pinch hitting.
Alcala was able to strike out Castro in their one head-to-head matchup in the 8th inning on Thursday night. Foul ball back to the screen. Astros have used up their bench today. Jake Myers came on for Michael Brantley, and Altuve and Castro pinch hitting in this inning. You see of the relief pitchers, Presley, Stanek, and Graveman, 3 of the 4 available, have all 3 pitched 2 straight days, so they're probably not likely to pitch tonight unless they have to. 0-1 the count to Castro. Ball gets away from Sano, and Altuve high stepping it like he was heading to second, but he wasn't going anywhere.
Hey, that was funny.
Altuve trying to deke Sano with those high step moves.
Oh man, this is incredible entertainment. That was great.
Castro has a home run in this series against the team he used to play for. Takes the changeup at the top of the zone. 0-2. Castro hit a home run Thursday against Griffin Jacks. Stays alive. Solo home run by Carlos Correa, making it a 7-5 game. Alcala was able to retire Tucker and Jones, his former minor league teammates, and now, after the walk to Jose Altuve, the pinch hitter, facing Castro, trying to battle down 0-2. Altuve getting his work in even after that foul ball, just decided to keep running to keep those legs stretched. He's having a good time out there.
He really is. He's making the most of the time out there on that field. Catching up with some old friends.
Altuve will stay in the game and play second. You saw that the bench is empty. Ledmus Diaz will move over to third to replace Jacob Wilson. And Castro obviously will take over for Maldonado behind the plate. Little looper towards the left field line, slicing, and look out.
Almost ran into it.
I think he did. That was not judged well out there. I think he ran right into that foul ball.
That's not how you're supposed to do it. Surprised him. Incoming. Got the chair.
A little discussion here with Alcala. 26 pitches into this inning, and an 0-2 count to Jason Castro. Wes Johnson has had his say.
Pretty good battle here, 0-2.
Johnson knows Castro from his time with the Twins when he was a pitching coach, 2019. Could have been. Thankfully for the Astros, the inning continues. Been a big zone for a lot of this game, but not there. Trying to hold up and does. No swing, says Ed Hickox, 2-2. Couple of close calls on Castro with 2 strikes. On the edge, Alcala picks up a strikeout on the changeup, getting Castro looking for the final out of the inning, but the Astros within 2.
The reason they are is because of this big swing off the bat of Carlos Correa. He got himself a changeup in, turned on it, and deposited it. 7-5 Minnesota.
We welcome you back with the results from tonight's Chevy Stroh poll for today. We were asking earlier, which short-time Astros star would you consider to be in the Astros Hall of Fame? Roger Clemens is your winner on this list. Just beats out Moises Alou. With his 3 seasons in an Astros uniform, we're going to flash back to the 2005 season. He took the ERA title. Some good highlights. What was a very good year for the Astros, guys.
It was a very good year. And that pitching staff is what led those Astros into the postseason and got them into the World Series eventually. As you see the ERA leaders in the National League, top 2 being Houston Astros.
Ninth inning baseball. Trevor Larnach will lead things off, followed by an Andrelton Simmons and Max Kepler facing Yimi Garcia. Garcia had to come on and get the final out of the 8th inning after Rafael Montero left with an apparent injury. We have not heard an update yet on Montero. Hopefully Dusty Baker will give us some clarity in the post-game press conference. Good change up by Yimi Garcia, and he gets ahead of Larnach 0-2. Larnach having a good game. Been on base 3 times, a couple of hits and a walk. Struck out looking on a pitch he felt was off the plate his last time up. There's Alex Colomé, their closer. Garcia started his career with the Dodgers, pitched there from 2014 through 2016, missed a season due to Tommy John surgery in 17. 2 more years with the Dodgers in 18 and 19, and then signed with Miami as a free agent and spent the last 2 years with the Marlins prior to the trade deadline. Foul tip caught by Jason Castro, the new catcher. That's a strikeout for Garcia. His second strikeout. He has struck out both batters he has faced.
Get a chance to see that good changeup. Change that speed a little bit at 90. There you see that circle change, putting a lot of emphasis on those last 3 fingers on that right hand.
Well, changes that we predicted happen with Castro. Wasn't really much of a prediction. Castro behind the plate, Diaz moving to third, and Jose taking over at second.
Don't sell yourself short, TK. That was amazing.
There wasn't much
But
wiggle room.
you did it. You nailed it.
5 o'clock, Blummer.
What?
5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, man, is it ever. Go back to the fridge here real quick.
1-1 the count. We don't see many 4-hour 9-inning games, so.
Yeah, we do.
We do?
Yeah, we do. Not without Kaylee.
No, when Kaylee Griffin's here, we do. Not when Julia's back. It's a lot of disrespect to the queen of the Astros. 2-1 Andrelton Simmons.
I've already texted Kaylee. Like, you are missing out, my friend.
Oh.
She's got 3 of the 4 longest games this year.
I know. I did not mean to do that to her.
But you're right here today with the day off tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm all in.
You're all in. Might as well, at this point, Julia, you might as well prepare for the walk-off, right?
Yes.
There we go. That would make it at least worthwhile.
Astros will have the top of their order due up. It has not been the cleanest of seasons for Alex Colomé. They will be trying to close this game out. Astros hoping it's just a 2-run lead. They'll try and navigate in the bottom of the 9th inning. Simmons 0 for 4 today. Takes a fastball up for a ball. And the count goes to 3-2. Here to see Josh Donaldson. He had a big hit for the Twins in that extra inning game. Knocked in the game-winning run. Hasn't played since. He's been dealing with that hamstring issue. Twins are beat up a little bit, but they have played the Astros very well in this series, winning 5-3 in the opener, 5-4 in extra innings Friday. They were shut down by the Astros pitching last night. Luis Garcia, Ryan Stanton, Kendall Graven, and Ryan Presley. But today the Twins leading 7-5 in the rubber game of the season series. Called third strike, bottom of the zone. How about Yimi Garcia? 3 batters, 3 strikeouts, 2 outs in the inning.
He is looking very good. Nice little cutter at 92 at the bottom of the zone. Get on the side of it, pull it across there, and freeze Andrelton Simmons at the bottom of the zone.
Max Kepler will bat for a 6th time today. He's 3 for 5 with 3 singles the other way. Twins with 12 hits today. They've also left on 12 runners. Astros with 10 hits have stranded 7. Yimi Garcia, 30-year-old from Moca in the Dominican Republic. Outside for a ball, 2-1. Again to left field. This one hanging up for Yordan Alvarez, who puts it away for the final out of the inning. Nice job by Yimi Garcia. 4 batters faced, 4 retired, including 3 strikeouts. Astros down 2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Lock Solutions, building the foundation for Houston's future. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Don't forget, coming up after our game, it's the post-game show presented by Whataburger. Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton will host as they talk about this wrap-up to the 4-game series against the Minnesota Twins. Hopefully, they'll be recapping a walk-off victory. A 569-pound cake for the number of home runs Willie Mays had hit at that point of his career.
My goodness.
That's massive.
How many calories in a 569-pound cake?
Astros down 2, bottom of the 9th inning, facing the Twins closer, Alex Colomé.
Only 50-50 in save opportunities. 4 saves and 8 chances this season. Colomé on to try and finish this thing off. He's thrown a couple of times in this series so far, going an inning and 3rd, not giving up anything and not striking out an Astro.
Chas McCormick, Jake Myers, Aledmus Diaz. If any of them get on, Yordan Alvarez would represent the tying run. Pitch from Colomé, misses outside, ball 1.
Fastball slider pitcher is Colomé. Against right-handed hitters, and is going to throw that slider a ton.
Heavy on the slider, cutter, whatever he calls it. He throws that a lot. Pitching for the third time in this series. He's the fourth pitcher in this game for the Twins, pitching for the third time in the series. Tyler Duffy, Jorge Alcala, Danny Coulombe. Actually, he's the fifth pitcher. Juan Minaya. Well, Minaya only appeared in one game. Coulombe, Alcala, Duffy, and Colome pitching in 3 of the 4 games of the series. Minaya getting in his second game today. 2-0 the count. Astros need 1 runner to bring the tying run to the plate, and it's 3-0. Thursday, Colome faced Martin Maldonado and got him for the final out of that game. Then he faced Taylor Jones, Jason Castro, and Jose Altuve on Friday. Facing McCormick for the first time. Delivers a strike. Chas McCormick singled his first time up. He's 1 for 4, a couple of strikeouts and a double play. Just trying to find a way to get on here. Fastball at the bottom of the zone, 3-2. Colome, 32 years old, started his career with Tampa Bay, spent part of 2018 with Seattle and the last 2 years with the White Sox. High fly ball up the bat of McCormick, but he got under it. Center fielder Jake Cave waits for it to come down and puts it away. Actually, that's Ref Snyder in center field who puts it away for the first out. Oh, 1 out. That'll bring up Jake Myers, who picked up his first major league hit his last time up, a double into right center field. He has walked and doubled his last 2 times after striking out as a pinch hitter for Michael Brantley back in the 3rd. If you're just joining us, Michael Brantley had a collision with Andrelton Simmons at second base earlier in the game. Took an elbow or a forearm to the head. Stayed in the game at that point, but would eventually leave. Part of the post-game show as well. We'll find out Michael's condition as well as Rafael Montero, who had to leave the game, as Dusty Baker will be part of that media press conference after the game on our post-game show presented by Whataburger. There's Bake. He likes to be on that far side of the dugout when his team hits. That ball looped the other way, but it's foul. It'll be 1-1. We got a fun fact for you.
Bring it.
So we saw Judge Roy Hoffines in our little promo background in that video. So it's 60 years of Astros baseball since Judge kicked things off back in the day. 60 years of Astros baseball going into the season. And actually this is the 60th year. So 59 years going into the season. So during those 59 years there have been 6 games played of 4 hours or more in 9 innings.
Come on.
6 games in 59 seasons of Astros baseball, 4 hours or more in a 9-inning contest.
How many this year?
Today's the 5th.
You got me with that one. That was good.
Right?
Yeah. Kind of hate you for it, but yeah.
Games are not any quicker now with the new rules.
No.
5 this year, 11 in franchise history in 60 years. Pretty crazy.
What a stat. You're grinding.
They had a 4-hour, 19-minute game at home against the Orioles. They had a 4:14 game in Seattle and a 4 and a 4:01. Today we're at 4:02 right now as Myers takes a pitch in the dirt. It's 2-2. Length of game has no bearing unless you lose, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, then you're exhausted.
You come back and win this. You feel like, all right. It's like that Game 5 of the World Series in 2017. Nobody cared that it was over 5 hours.
No,
it's the greatest game ever.
Exciting. And the Astros won.
They won. A lot going on in that game, 13-12. Astros have Christian Javier warming up just in case this game continues. 2-2 to Jake Myers. Takes one down. Good at bats today by Myers. First chance he's had to have multiple at bats in a game. He's had a walk, a double. He lays off that 2-2 pitch, and now the count's full. With each big league at bat, getting a little more confident. Trying to get on for Diaz and potentially Yordan Alvarez. Nice pitch by Colomé, strikes out Myers, a 3-2 pitch at the knees on the outside edge. 2 outs in the inning.
Pretty well located fastball at 94. Tough pitch.
The other day we were close to 400 pitches in that 9-inning game. Today we're at 360.
Oh, that's all?
Total.
Oh.
Diaz, RBI double his last time up, almost hit a home run. That missed being a home run by less than a couple feet.
Hit that ball hard going the other way.
Ledmans has hit well since coming off the injured list. Had a 7-game hitting streak on the road. He has 2 RBIs today, 2 for 4. He has had 2 hits yesterday. After starting the series 0 for 9, he is 4 for his last 8. Try to hold up. Missed that slider or cutter. It's 1-1. Twins with 12 hits, Astros with 10. There's another cutter. 1-2 the count. Astros down to their final strike. They would love to bring Yordan Alvarez to the plate if at all possible, but Colomé Chas McCormick to fly to center on a 3-2 pitch after falling behind 3-0, and then struck out Jake Myers on a 3-2 pitch. Now he's ahead of Diaz, 1-2. Twins, as mentioned, are wrapping up their longest road trip of the year. They lost 2 out of 3 in St. Louis, split the 2-game series in Cincinnati, and are trying to take 3 out of 4 against the Astros, trying to wrap up their longest road trip with a 5-4 mark. They're going to head home for their longest homestand beginning tomorrow. They have a 9-game stand with the White Sox, the Rays, and the Indians coming to town. See Baker in danger of having his team lose the season series to Minnesota unless they can rally here with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 9th. A battle here by Diaz.
Just trying to find a way to get on, get that base runner on, and get that tying run, and Yordan Alvarez at the plate.
Through the middle, Polanco on it in a hurry. His throw wide and a stretch by Sano on the bag to end the game. Astros drop this one 7-5. The Twins win 3 out of 4 in this series at Minute Maid Park and take the series in the season 4-3. A tough start to the homestand for the Astros. They'll have a day off tomorrow and get ready for the Colorado Rockies for a couple. We'll have the post-game show right around the corner.